has the story.
In its suit filed at the U.S. Court of International Trade, the retail giant argues President Trump unlawfully used the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to impose his tariffs. Costco is seeking a full refund on all the tariffs it has paid. The Supreme Court is considering whether Trump had the legal authority to impose the tariffs. Dozens of other companies, including Bumblebee and Kawasaki, have also filed lawsuits seeking tariff refunds.
Costco has not said how much it has paid in tariffs, but says 1/3 of its sales are from imported goods. In Pierce County, deputies say bullets ripped through a home, garage, and truck during a street race in Parkland Saturday night. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Ottley spoke with the homeowner.
We have a 4-year-old son, so to me, I'm like, oh my God, and thank God his room's on the opposite side of the house.
Megan Corning said it all started with a street takeover up the road.
We've had like 5 of them in the last couple of years.
But Megan and her neighbor Juan Roland tell me the takeovers are just the tip of the iceberg.
I'm scared to go outside.
He says he hears gunshots in the area constantly. Pierce County Sheriff's Office told me they did get a ton of 911 calls about this. They sent deputies out once they had enough to respond, but by that point, everyone had left. No one has been arrested so far.
4 teens in a stolen car shooting at police. This happened over the weekend. All 4 were in court yesterday. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
3 girls, 15 to 17 years old, and a 16-year-old boy. In court, prosecutor Adam Vanderlochat asked that they all be held in secure detention.
The respondent was found in a stolen vehicle where multiple firearms were involved, where shots were fired at a police vehicle. The state has serious concerns for community safety.
2 other males fled on foot and are still on the loose. In Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Concerns are rising in Pierce County after dead birds were discovered in Lake Tapps. State biologists suspect avian flu, but the birds were not tested, leaving residents there uneasy. Jeff Lincoln, a resident, says
there's very large herds of dairy cattle in this area, and these birds that nest and visit the lake on a regular basis are present on those farms.
The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife says testing is only done when 10 to 15 birds die in a short period. Citing limited resources, officials urge people to report sick or dead birds. A dramatic rescue unfolded in Roslyn after a dog fell 20 feet down a crevasse. Kittitas County deputies say the dog was trapped Sunday before neighbors, volunteers, and first responders joined forces to save it. The dog's owner, Paige Graham, says
she was absolutely fine. Scratches and bruises, but even those are fairly minor. But no hypothermia at all.
Officials praised the teamwork to get the dog to safety. And Seattle police homicide detectives are investigating a fatal shooting in Seattle's Chinatown International District. It happened just before 8 Monday morning at a hookah lounge near Rainier Avenue South and South King Street. There was an altercation and multiple shots fired, one striking the victim, a man in his 30s, once in the back. SPD Detective Eric Munoz is asking for the public's help.
If anybody knows the identity of this individual, call the SPD Violent Crimes Tip Line, 206-233-5000. Anonymous tips are always accepted.
Anyone with information about this shooting is asked to call 911. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic right now. Roads are looking good. Linwood to Seattle right now, about 15 minutes. Everett to Seattle, about 28 minutes. Marysville to Seattle, about 35 minutes. And for your KIRO News Radio forecast on this Tuesday morning, we've got some showers this morning, then it'll be cloudy this afternoon. Highs will be close to 50. Right now, it's about 37 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, G. Scott breaks down Sunday's big Seahawks win. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Whether it's day or night, hot flashes due to menopause can be unpredictable. That's why there's Veoza, a prescription treatment proven to reduce the number and severity of hot flashes day and night that can start working in as early as 1 week. Based on clinical studies measuring efficacy at 4 and 12 weeks, individual results may vary. Talk to your healthcare provider about what this may mean for you. For moderate to severe vasomotor symptoms or hot flashes and night sweats due to menopause, Veoza can cause serious side effects, including liver problems. Your doctor will do blood tests before and during treatment. Stop Veoza and call your doctor if you have symptoms of liver problems, such as feeling more tired than usual, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, itching, yellowing of the eyes or skin, pale stool, dark urine, or stomach pain. Don't use Veoza if you have cirrhosis, severe kidney problems, kidney failure, or take CYP1A2 inhibitors. Ask your doctor about Veoza. To learn more, call 1-866-239-1637 or go to Veoza.com. That's VEOZAH.com.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
If you're wearing glasses or contacts, but you need reading glasses or bifocals now, you need to join Doctors Kopstein and King for the K2 Vision RLE live webinar this Thursday at noon to learn about refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE. This free webinar is a perfect opportunity to meet the doctors and have them answer all your questions about K2 Vision RLE. Questions like, how much does RLE cost? Is financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE? These questions and lots more will be covered this Thursday at noon during the K2 Vision RLE free live webinar. K2 Vision surgeons have performed over 150,000 procedures. They know when RLE is right for you. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Plus, no more cataracts. Don't miss the free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Register at K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
This season, gift yourself the chance to slow down and truly savor holiday wonders just a short journey from home. Victoria, BC glows with festive lights, charming traditions, and the space to reconnect with yourself, loved ones, and the joy of the season. Victoria is just a scenic ferry or seaplane ride from Seattle, making it the perfect getaway. This Christmas, step into a more relaxed rhythm. Plan your trip at tourismvictoria.com.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
G. Scott is here, and what a game. What a game for the Seahawks.
What a game. Hey, real quick before we start getting into the game, I got to just declare something right now.
Yes.
You better not be having Thanksgiving leftovers still.
Nope.
The rule is by Saturday evening, it's over. Throw it all out. Anybody still eating Sunday and Monday Thanksgiving,
put it in the freezer.
The health department going to pull up. You know what I mean?
You're encouraging wasteful behavior.
No, I'm just saying. Some folks be eating Thanksgiving leftovers way too long. DB, you can't be eating that dry, nasty turkey on Monday.
It was from Saturday, actually. So I feel like I still had it. It was Saturday, and I ate it Sunday.
Okay,
come on.
cool.
That's okay for leftovers.
All right, Charlie, you're not eating any more leftovers, are you?
Done with it, Tasmanian Devil. We are done with it.
Okay, all right. Sully, real quick, we're good? No more?
No, we ate some yesterday. That was it.
All right, let's get to the
How about those Seahawks?
You get energized, you get around them grandkids, and all of a sudden you're full Tasmanian Devil in the studio.
Yeah, no doubt. So I got good news and bad news. Which one do you guys want to hear first?
Bad.
The bad news, that offense was terrible yesterday.
Yeah.
Seahawks offense was not good. It was the worst that they've done all season long. Now, to the credit of the Minnesota Vikings, they do have a good defense. Up front, the front four are really good, right? The Seahawks offensive line all season long, up into that game, had only allowed 11 sacks all season. That was number one in the NFL. And when it came against the Minnesota Vikings, it was something. Also, to the credit of Brian Flores and the Minnesota Vikings, they are kind of used to Sam Darnold. Spending all that time last season with him, well, Sam Darnold kind of met against a little bit of a kryptonite yesterday, and Sam Darnold has not looked very sharp the last 2 out of 3 games. 4 interceptions against the Rams. He bounced back against the Titans, and then he has that game, of course, yesterday against the Vikings. The good news.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Seahawks have the best defense in the NFL, and it's not even close.
Hands down.
It's not even close. I had former players texting me saying, "Oh, okay, this defense is really legit." You saw what they did. As a matter of fact, going into that game, the Seahawks right now have at least 17 players on the team that has at least a half sack or more this season. That leads the league in the NFL, number one. Also, they have now gone 21 consecutive games, going back from last year, 21 consecutive games of not allowing a 100-yard rusher. This defense is really good. I'd argue that if not for the defense yesterday, we'd be thinking and talking about something else today. 26-0. Was the shutout yesterday. It was the first time the Seahawks had shut out a team in 10 years. The last time they did it was 2015. Who was that against? The Bears. What was the score? 26-0. How about that? So the good news and bad news is that the good news is this defense is outstanding.
All right, only 5 games left, right?
5 games left, and you know what? It's serious now. You know, they get ready to go down to Hotlanta. You know what I'm saying? And go down there. I don't know if they're going to get some lemon pepper wings. You ever had lemon pepper wings in Atlanta?
Not in Atlanta, but I've had lemon pepper wings.
Okay, you've had, okay. Yeah. But if someone says to you that they've had lemon pepper wings in Atlanta, question them more, okay? Just about that.
Yes. Quick.
Yeah.
We did talk about, obviously, the struggles the offense had. One bright spot, I thought, rushing combined over 100 yards. That's what I wanted going into that game was rush the ball, pound the rock. They seem to do it somewhat well.
Yep.
That touchdown run by Zach Charbonnet was certainly good, right?
Yeah. This run game this season has showed up every game when they've needed to. They haven't been crazy spectacular, but they've been right on time, right? It's kind of like turkey at Thanksgiving. It's not spectacular, but it's right on time. It's what you get. One more thing, the Minnesota Vikings, their quarterback yesterday.
That was cruel.
In my lifetime, at least especially being an adult, it's absolutely hands down the worst quarterback that I've ever seen play in an NFL game. Absolute, as the kids say, cheeks.
I felt bad for him. All right, on that note, you may be excused.
I always love it when you kick me out, man.
It's nice to see you again. Welcome back.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, we've got showers this morning, then cloudy this afternoon. Highs will be close to 47. Winds will be light and variable. Chance of rain again about 30% this afternoon. Right now, it's about 37 in downtown Seattle. And now to some headlines. Amazon's Bellevue expansion is moving forward again. The company restarted work at the Artis Tower, a 25-story office project. City records show construction permits were renewed in September. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports the building covers more than 600,000 square feet and will house thousands of employees. Amazon says it plans for 25,000 workers in Bellevue in the future. And coming up, News Nation's Tom Dempsey with the latest on the National Guard shooter. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain and stem cells really work for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Make this the last holiday season in that old kitchen. Hi, this is Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Our solid wood refacing system delivers a luxurious new kitchen way easier and less expensive than a tear-out. You won't believe the difference. Heritage Homecraft's specialty is custom cabinet refacing and quartz countertops. With Heritage Homecraft, custom means built from scratch just for you. Our own craftsmen, not subcontractors, will reface your existing cabinet boxes with 1/4-inch thick solid hardwood and add new custom-built solid hardwood doors. We can make design changes, add cabinets, install custom features, and top it all off with a brand new quartz countertop. With the holidays here, I know everyone's busy, but if you order your new Heritage Homecraft kitchen now for select install dates after the new year, I'll give you 12% off the entire project. Hey, all year long and especially next holiday season, you'll be delighted that you did. Call today, Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, the new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
I'm here with Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, you were just telling me you think 2026 is going to be a rebound year for the housing market.
That's right. I think we're heading into the best real estate market of the past 4 years. And here's why. If you take a step back and look at the big picture, experts are anticipating a 15% increase in sales volume next year. Interest rates are at near 3-year lows and trending down, and home prices have held near all-time highs. There is a lot of pent-up demand. People have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for their time to jump into the market since 2022, and they need a place to buy.
So, hey, 2026 might be your year. If you're considering selling your home, if you're thinking about moving, but there was something that was just holding you back, now might be a great time. So do this. Go to sellwithwes.com. You can see your home's real value there with Wes's home value calculator. Then schedule an appointment by giving him a call. Sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope, included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo Plumbers are that good.
83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2025. Last chance! Donate now for a 2025 tax deduction.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at Progressive.com.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks game, Sunday, December 14th. Head to the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO Newsradio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, December 2nd through December 8th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. New developments in the deadly U.S. airstrike on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean. The White House at first denied there was a follow-up attack that killed 2 survivors of the first strike. Now it says there was a second attack, but insists it was legal. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth now faces new questions from lawmakers in both parties about what happened. CBS's Nancy Cordes has more.
Secretary Hegseth authorized Admiral Bradley to conduct these kinetic strikes.
Reading from prepared remarks, the White House press secretary said Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth did order this strike on a suspected drug boat on September 2nd, but did not issue an order to kill everybody, as the Washington Post first reported this weekend.
President Trump reportedly had a call with Venezuelan President Maduro. The Miami Herald reports Maduro told Trump he was willing to leave the country in exchange for full legal amnesty, among other demands. Trump rejected his offer. Now to Washington. Seattle police are investigating an early morning fatal shooting at a hookah lounge. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
SPD investigators are still trying to figure out what happened at this hookah lounge near Rainier Avenue South and South King Street. It happened just before 8 o'clock. SPD Detective Eric Munoz says it started with an altercation inside the lounge.
Shortly after that altercation, the suspect fired multiple rounds into the area of the hookah lounge from just outside, and one of those bullets did, in fact, strike our victim.
Anyone with information about this shooting should call 911. In the CID, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
International student enrollment is at an 8-year low at the University of Washington.
In the fall of 2025 quarter, 7,439 students were enrolled at UW's Seattle campus with international visas, according to the Times. That's 7% fewer than a year ago and nearly 10% less than in 2022, when the international student population was at its peak. Now, this year's drop was actually smaller than what the university was expecting, given President Trump's crackdown on immigration and higher education. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
3 people were taken into custody after an incident at Burion's Highline High School. Brandon Hull in the King County Sheriff's Office says it all started around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
We got reports there was somebody on campus with a gun, and so the school went into lockdown.
She says one student was assaulted, apparently pistol whipped. Deputies searched the school room by room and determined there was no threat. The lockdown was lifted around 2:30. Holiday cheer in Centralia has been dimmed after vandals caused more than $20,000 in damage to a beloved Christmas light display. Police say the destruction happened at Bourse Park last Tuesday, where the annual drive-through show draws families from across the region. Organizers found wires cut, decorations smashed, and displays ruined. Despite the setback, volunteers are working to repair what they can. It appears researchers are close to a possible cure for HIV. According to the Seattle Times, there are 2 studies out, which include work by local scientists. One study looked at a combination of immunotherapy, which appears to put patients in long-term remission without having to take medication. The other looks at a possible cure using a stem cell transplant in an HIV patient with cancer. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Tacoma to Seattle, about 32 minutes right now. Puyallup to Renton, 21. Everett to Bellevue, about 28 minutes. Marysville to Seattle, about 32 minutes. And for your KIRO News Radio forecast, we've got some rain this morning. It'll be partly cloudy this afternoon. Highs will be close to 50. Right now, it's about 37 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, we've been reporting on this throughout the morning. We're now learning more, though, about several mental health warnings concerning the man accused of shooting 2 National Guard members near the White House last week. He's from Bellingham.
And let's hear some of the national perspective from News Nation D.C. correspondent Tom Dempsey. Tom, just bring us up to speed on what happened. It's been a holiday weekend. Some people may be unaware.
Yeah, so this is a really tragic shooting that happened in Washington, D.C., and it happened just outside of a D.C. metro stop that I take to get home every single day. It's about 2 blocks away from the White House, and according to investigators, a suspect, rounded a corner right near the metro stop and then shot 2 National Guard members who were in D.C. as part of that sort of public safety, addressing public safety here. That was a big thing by President Trump. But one of those National Guard members later died from her injuries. And there's another one who is still at the hospital recovering right now. So the biggest thing as far as, some of the biggest questions unanswered, what was the motive with all of this? So the suspect identified as a 29-year-old man who was originally from Afghanistan, and he served in a special Afghan army unit that was backed by the CIA, and he actually came over to the United States in 2021 as part of a program called Operation Allies Welcome, and that helped evacuate tens of thousands of people in Afghanistan, some of them who helped out as interpreters and translators with U.S. forces there. But that's the big thing right now. What drove him to do all this? And, the Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem, came out over the weekend saying that right now evidence points that this man was radicalized at some point when he was here in the United States. So just continuing to dive into that right now. Investigators, talking with his family and associates as far as, some of the lead up to the shooting.
Do we know if he acted totally alone?
As of right now, it doesn't, well, at least as far as the actual crime itself. The investigators have not identified anybody else who, shot these 2 National Guard forces who were here in D.C. But President Trump's saying he wants to invite the families of those 2 National Guard members to the White House. And he wants to make sure they are honored. The governor of West Virginia came out over the weekend saying there were special prayer vigils held for one of the National Guard members. And like I said, the other National Guard member is still in critical condition right now.
Tom, when we hear about him being radicalized after moving to the United States, presumably that is in Bellingham, where he had moved just an hour or 2 away from Seattle. That's hugely concerning. When will we expect to find out any more details about this from law enforcement?
Yeah, so the big focus right now is continuing to interview friends and family members of this suspect that happened. The Associated Press recently, spoke with a community advocate there in Bellingham. We spoke about how the suspect was, unable to hold a job and had moments of dark isolation. And he would sometimes go on, long drives or something like that, without, sort of reckless travel as the person who described that all. But he faced eviction at one point for not paying rent for several months. That's according to reporting from the Associated Press. But, the investigators say that in the lead up to this shooting, the suspect drove all the way from Washington State to Washington, D.C., and then took part in this crime. So lots of questions over, what happened, what was his mindset, in the lead up to the shooting. As we said, he was a veteran in Afghanistan. He came over here to the United States as part of a program for Afghans who helped U.S. forces before the withdrawal. So still lots of questions going around about his background.
What's next for him, Tom?
Well, he's in jail now, obviously, and he faces a first-degree murder charge. And if that second National Guard member dies, he would face an additional murder charge. But that's the thing. President Trump has called for the suspect to face the steepest price possible. And so, he's facing a murder charge as we speak, and he might even see more additional charges in the weeks ahead.
Well, let's hope for a speedy recovery for that second National Guard member. News Nation D.C. correspondent Tom Dempsey. Tom, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you.
A Tacoma nonprofit just got its biggest gift ever. Associated Ministries of Tacoma Pierce County just received $2.5 million from the Bezos Day One Families Fund. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez Bezos backed the fund. The nonprofit helps unsheltered families find housing. Mary's Place in Seattle was awarded $5 million. Coming up next, we'll have national headlines. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Save the date, Wednesday, December 10th. Join KIRO Newsradio and Treehouse for the 37th Annual Holiday Magic, providing holiday gifts and year-round support for more than 6,500 kids in foster care statewide. Over the past 36 years of holiday magic, we've delivered 182,000 gifts across our state. Join KIRO News Radio and Treehouse this year and share the joy of the holiday season. Wednesday, December 10th. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476 to learn more.
The Pacific Northwest is the perfect backdrop for the holiday season. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law reminds us that the roadways don't always agree.
It's that combination of additional travel, changes in routine, and winter weather that make this the most dangerous time of the year to be behind the wheel.
Any safety tips to help commuters keep the holidays joyful?
The number one cause of accidents remains distracted driving, even during the holidays. So store that cell phone in a place that eliminates temptation. It's imperative we set the example for our teens. Also, be aware of abrupt changes in the weather and prepare for it. Sometimes it's as simple as allowing additional distance for following or stopping. Lastly, make sure your vehicle is properly maintained for winter.
That includes four-wheel drive and chains when required at the pass. Please follow these safety precautions from my good friends at Pendergast Law and keep you and your neighbors safe this holiday season.
Happy holidays from all of us at Pendergast Law.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. The Hawks get it done at home.
They do it in style with a 26-0 shellacking.
Improving to 9-3, staying with the small pack of teams atop the NFC.
And this one goes to the house. Jones with a pick six.
Complete coverage at mynorthwest.com.
That was big for our defense. I feel like it's another level that we can reach. We're just worried about playing our style of ball, playing for each other.
And the station where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes.
Are you planning an event in 2026? Make it unforgettable at T-Mobile Park. Mariners suites and group tickets are perfect for any occasion. Fundraisers, school outings, work parties, family celebrations, and more. Enjoy customizable catering, flexible setups for 14 to 400 people, and epic game day views, all with the help of a dedicated Mariners rep. Get ahead and start planning your event today at mariners.com.
CBS News Brief. The White House now says there was a second strike on a suspected drug smuggling vessel, but does not confirm Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ordered it to pick off survivors. But former Defense Secretary and CIA Director Leon Panetta telling CBS News.
The second strike is a war crime because these individuals were injured. They were in the water.
Will Russian President Vladimir Putin accept anything less than Ukraine's full capitulation when U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff presents the amended U.S. peace plan in Moscow today? Here's the BBC's James Waterhouse.
It's fraught with uncertainty, but today is significant because we may learn just to what extent Russia is willing to compromise or not.
Winter weather that pummeled the Midwest is making its way east. CBS News meteorologist Ashton Altieri.
On the north of it, it's going to be all snow for many of the northern states. But down south, we are looking at the potential for some icy conditions. That was particularly the case Monday night in places like Little Rock, Arkansas.
CBS News Brief, I'm Vicki Barker.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, showers this morning, then cloudy later this afternoon. Highs will be around 47. Right now, it's about 37 degrees in downtown Seattle. Coming up, a look at the life and crimes of the Green River Killer, Gary Ridgway. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Dr. Wagner. I have a really bad left hip. In fact, this other doctor's like, well, they're going to have to get a hip replacement. I was like, oh, my God. He goes, how old are you? I told him, well, you're going to have to wait a couple of years because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to both go to heaven together. I was like, well, in the meantime, well, try stretching, aspirin. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm in pain. I can't sleep. I could barely walk. I'd get off a plane and I'm like struggling to even make it down the ramp. I go to see Dr. Wagner. He explains to me how the stem cell procedure works. It's 90 minutes, and I'm telling you right now, I love it. So rather than surgery, make an appointment to see Dr. Wagner. It could be the game changer for you, like it's been for a whole bunch of other people as well. So whether it's your hip or your wrist or your shoulder, your knee, check out Dr. Mark Wagner. I'm telling you right now, stem cell procedure could be the answer for you, as it's been for me. You want to find out more? drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974, this is KIRO News Radio.
Good morning. Along with Charlie Harger, I'm Manda Factor. We bring in Casey McNerney, spokesperson with the King County Prosecutor's Office, and today it's a special edition of Crime and Punishment.
And that's because multiple sources tell us that Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, is receiving end-of-life care in prison. He is near death. Before we get to Casey, let's listen to KIRO coverage from 1984 and 2001 and a clip from his 2003 guilty plea.
Today, 41 detectives work out of this Burien office, making it the largest police investigation in Northwest history.
Even with the best efforts from sheriff's office, law enforcement, for a long time it was a mystery.
The Green River Killer started his reign of terror in 1982. By the time he appeared to stop killing, at least 49 women were dead.
I killed so many women, I have a hard time keeping them straight. Is that true?
Yes, it is.
I am having a physical reaction listening to his voice. Growing up in this area, he was the boogeyman.
Indeed he was.
I mean, I was terrified of.
So many were. Many were. And Casey McNerney, you are the spokesperson for the King County Prosecutor's Office. There was great controversy back in 2003 when then prosecutor Norm Mailing made the decision to seek life imprisonment instead of the death penalty at the time. What went into Norm's decision there?
It was about the victims and their families. The hardest part about that was knowing that nobody would be satisfied. But what Norm thought about was, how do we serve the victims here? Because if you don't get those bodies found, then you have dozens of young women who are dumped and you don't know where they are. And I think in hindsight, his decision looks even better because if not for that, which was also supported by then a King County Sheriff and Republican Dave Reichert, if you don't have that decision to have Ridgway plead guilty to life in prison, multiple counts, and lead investigators to the bodies, the dump sites, then for 40 plus years, you don't know where your mother or sister or daughter is. And it's that unhealed wound, which always will be there, but not having the body is just extra insulting.
And this is a soundbite from Mailing back in 2003.
I saw that the justice that we could achieve could bring home the remains of loved ones for burial. It could solve unsolvable cases that the task force had spent 20 years investigating.
Casey, this will never be over for the families affected, right? I mean, there are documentaries. People see Gary Ridgway's name all the time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the hard part is those families don't get the heads up of when it might come on the news. You know, there's probably people listening right now who are affected by his cases, and it rattles them big time, and understandably so. You know, we get the benefit of changing news stories, or if you're listening to a podcast or watching a Netflix documentary, you can turn it off when you want to or close that web browser, but the families don't ever get to. And we've heard that from families that at uncertain times they'll be driving in their car, they'll be watching the news, and it all comes flooding back.
Here's a clip of what some of them said at Ridgway's sentencing. This is December 2003.
I was only 5 when my mother died and when my dad told me that she was never coming home.
A lot of Christmas and a lot of birthday parties we miss because of you.
He's destroyed my life. He's destroyed my daughter's life.
Our daughter, my wife and I, she was 16. She was still a little girl in my eyes.
So many families affected by this. Having covered this over the years, there are still so many waiting to find their daughter. And Ridgway continues to play games with many of those families, saying at one time he may have killed up to 80, 85 people. He was convicted of the 49, and that is as up to date as the prosecutor's office is. They don't have any other cases they have outstanding for him.
Not that I know of. We know that he has said that he's killed more people. We don't have that evidence yet, but certainly, even in the last days, if there was information that came to us, it would be acted on right away.
Norm Mailing was really important to Lisa Mannion, the prosecuting attorney, and a mentor to her. She's still close with Norm's widow and son. And Norm is beloved in your office because he was just a leader and a great person in so many ways. What does Lisa say about what's happening right now?
I asked Lisa what Norm would say about the Green River Killer now, and here was her answer.
What Norm would say is that Gary Ridgway is not deserving of our sympathy. He is not deserving of our thoughts. Norm would want us to focus on the victims. He would want us to think of their family members. I think that there is a notion that these women were marginalized or cast-offs, but that wasn't the case. They were someone's daughter, sister, child. They were loved.
Now, Casey, I know you are unable to confirm to us the condition of Ridgway currently, his health. However, you were able to confirm he was brought back to the Seattle area one last time. It was last year, right?
Yes, it was in September of 2024, and he was brought back under armed guard. Sheriff's Office investigators went out to sites where he said that he might be able to find more remains. They didn't find those, and that's the big question of was he being truthful? Was he not? He knew he was never going to leave prison, so did he just want a field trip, and was he, causing more heartache, or was he actually being genuine? And I'm not sure that we'll ever know the answer to that.
There's no way he would be released for end of life, is there?
I don't think so. I sure hope not.
I spoke to the Department of Corrections about this, and they adamantly denied. One of the rumors going around is the fear of that happening. But speaking directly with the Department of Corrections within the past week or so, they've adamantly denied it. But still, that makes very little consolation for the families who never had that luxury of knowing their loved one is dying and being able to be near them. They were suddenly and violently taken away from these family members. Just a bigger picture here, how does that continue to impact the King County Prosecutor's Office, this case?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that those victims' families are still here, and it's still hard for them. And what we try to do is when we know he's going to be in the news, like September of 24 when he was back in town, to let them know, to say, hey, this is going to be coming up, so they're not caught off guard. In terms of how other cases are handled, really each case is reviewed individually. I'm not sure that everyone will believe that, but we don't, say, well, we did this in this case, so we got to do this new case a certain way. There were still cases after Gary Ridgway where the death penalty was sought, like Connor Shireman or the Andersons out in the Carnation case. The biggest change was when Governor Inslee said, hey, we're not going to do the death penalty here anymore. And when the state Supreme Court said it was unconstitutional in 2018. So that really was the biggest change. But there's always a question about Ridgway and, what might happen. I think even after he's gone, we'll still get questions.
Well, Casey, we appreciate you coming in and joining us. This is clearly a developing story, and we really want to emphasize this is about the victims and their families, not this monster who sits behind bars in Walla Walla. Casey McNerney, King County Prosecutor's Office. Thank you, Casey.
It's great to see you both.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, right now we got some morning showers, but it will be cloudy this afternoon with highs close to 50. Right now, it's about 37 in downtown Seattle. There's a new study that finds kids who have smartphones by age 12 are at increased risk of health problems. The researchers analyzed data from more than 10,000 children who took part in a long-term government-funded study on the brain development and child health. Lead author Dr. Ron Barzilai says 64% of those children had smartphones by the median age of 11. They had more depression, more obesity, and less sleep, and more insufficient sleep. He says smartphones can help kids learn and strengthen their social connections, but parents need to think carefully before giving them one. And coming up next, you'll have more of the top stories here on Seattle's Morning News. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
The Hawks get it done at home.
They do it in style with a 26-0 shellacking.
Improving to 9-3, staying with the small pack of teams atop the NFC.
And this one goes to the house. Jones with a pick six.
Complete coverage at mynorthwest.com.
That was big for our defense. I feel like it's another level that we can reach. We're just worried about playing our style ball, playing for each other.
And the station where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Make this the last holiday season in that old kitchen. Hi, this is Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Our solid wood refacing system delivers a luxurious new kitchen way easier and less expensive than a tear out. You won't believe the difference. Heritage Homecraft's specialty is custom cabinet refacing and quartz countertops. With Heritage Homecraft, custom means built from scratch just for you. Our own craftsmen, not subcontractors, will reface your existing cabinet boxes with 1/4-inch thick solid hardwood and add new custom-built solid hardwood doors. We can make design changes, add cabinets, install custom features, and top it all off with a brand new quartz countertop. With the holidays here, I know everyone's busy, but if you order your new Heritage Homecraft kitchen now for select install dates after the new year, I'll give you 12% off the entire project. Hey, all year long and especially next holiday season, you'll be delighted that you did. Call today, Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Why is K2 Vision RLE a permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers? How is it that you'll never develop a cataract after K2 Vision RLE? And how is RLE different from LASIK?
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. We'll answer those questions and others when you join us for our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Andy, what are some of the other questions you hear?
Well, how long is the procedure and recovery? Or who's a good candidate for RLE?
And we'll also answer, how much does RLE cost? Is there financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE?
Find out how K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers.
And cataracts too.
Right, no more cataracts.
K2 Vision's free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Space will be limited, so register now at k2visionrle.com.
Join us at our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Sign up at k2visionrle.com.
Save the date, Wednesday, December 10th. Join KIRO News Radio and Treehouse for the 37th Annual Holiday Magic, providing holiday gifts and year-round support for more than 6,500 kids in foster care statewide. Over the past 36 years of Holiday Magic, we've delivered 182,000 gifts across our state. Join KIRO News Radio and Treehouse this year and share the joy of the holiday season. Wednesday, December 10th. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476 to learn more.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, a new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
It's about grit.
Leonard Williams drags him down.
Running through whatever gets in your way.
The handoff to Charbonnet. Stiff arms a man, turns, first down. Oh my goodness! What a blast!
Fighting for every yard.
The handoff to Walker. He breaks a tackle, comes back to the near side, stumbles across the 10, breaks the tackle. Touchdown! Seahawks!
And a drive that never ends. Celebrating 50 seasons of Seahawks football. Visit Seahawks.com/tickets today.
She and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
Home Comfort Alliance installs the most dependable home comfort solutions, including Mitsubishi electric heating and air conditioning systems. Call the comfort people, homecomfortalliance.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Vicki Barker. U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff scheduled to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow this hour, carrying President Trump's revised peace plan for Ukraine. But as CBS's Remy Inocencio in London tells us, the portents are not promising.
We're hearing from the Kremlin a signal here that they are not willing to compromise on anything. The belief here from Vladimir Putin, we understand, is that he sees that any negotiations are a way of achieving its aims, Russia's aims in Ukraine, and that they are now winning on the battlefield.
For their part, the Ukrainians and many European leaders fear the final plan will reward Russia for invading Ukraine, something they say could set a dangerous precedent for the continent. Who ordered what and why? The White House is now acknowledging there was a second strike on a suspected Venezuelan drug smuggling boat, but is not saying the aim was to pick off wounded survivors. Former Attorney General Alberto Gonzales telling CBS Mornings why that matters.
The rules are clear that if you've got someone who does not pose a threat and is defenseless, that to summarily execute them without any kind of due process would be a violation of armed conflict.
In other words, a war crime. That winter weather that pummeled the Midwest is making its way east. Here's CBS News meteorologist Ashton Altieri.
On the north of it, it's going to be all snow for many of the northern states. But down south, we are looking at the potential for some icy conditions. That was particularly the case Monday night in places like Little Rock, Arkansas.
Some areas from New York State to Maine could see as much as a foot of snow. The man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is back in court this morning. Luigi Mangioni's lawyers are asking a judge to exclude some evidence from his upcoming state trial, as CBS's Tarika Duncan reports.
Investigators say they discovered a notebook and 9mm handgun in Mangioni's backpack, key evidence his defense team is asking the court to suppress. They argue police did not have a search warrant and failed to read Mangioni his Miranda rights.
Another study that suggests parents should severely limit their kids' access to smartphones.
The researchers analyzed data for more than 10,000 children who took part in a long-term government-funded study on brain development and child health. Lead author Dr. Ron Barzilay says 64% of those children had smartphones by the median age of 11.
They had more depression, more obesity, and less sleep or more insufficient sleep.
Barzilay says smartphones can help kids learn and strengthen their social connections, but parents need to think carefully before giving them one. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
And fashion giant Prada has officially bought Versace for $1.4 billion. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
6:03, let's check in with Chris Sullivan at the traffic desk.
Starting the morning with a little bit of slowing here and there, but nothing you guys can't handle. I got to start up in Marysville, where I'm searching for a crash on southbound 5 right after 529 there in the main Marysville area. It may have already moved off to the shoulder because we have kind of some off and on braking that starts around the Tulalip area. We've got about a 25-minute trip from Arlington into Everett. That's a little bit behind schedule. Once you get through that, though, it's a pretty good drive the rest of the way down to Seattle or to Bellevue. Only 35 minutes out of the Everett area as we work our way down. Looking at northbound 167 as we see the brake lights working our way through the Pacific area, but nothing you can't handle there either. 50 minutes to make the drive from Puyallup up into Renton. Renton to Bellevue's under 20 minutes at this point. Olympia to Tacoma's about 40. We have some braking to deal with through Nisqually today. A little bit up the hill towards 18. It's already about 22 minutes from Tacoma to Federal Way. And Federal Way to Seattle's about 40 minutes. So, again, nothing you can't handle. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service. 98 years servicing quality uniforms, floor mats, linens, logoed apparel, and more. Call Superior Linen Service. They answer the phone or visit suplinen.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. At 6:04, Costco taking the Trump administration to court demanding a refund on tariffs it says it was forced to pay.
The company now joins dozens of companies filing similar lawsuits, refusing to wait for a Supreme Court ruling. We get more live from KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, let's get into it. The lawsuit was filed on Friday, a day after Thanksgiving. The suit doesn't say how much Costco wants back, but it says they want all the money it paid on reciprocal and fentanyl tariffs imposed earlier this year. That fentanyl tariff refers to an additional tariff imposed by Trump and the administration on imports from China aimed at curbing the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. All right. To impose these tariffs, Trump invoked the International Emergency Economic Powers Act in August. A U.S. Court of Appeals, I should say, said Trump cannot do that. On November 5th, the U.S. Supreme Court then heard oral arguments on this issue, and we're still waiting for their opinion. However, Costco decided not to wait, and they're suing anyway because they say even if the Supreme Court ruled in their favor, companies might not be able to recoup that tariff money unless they file their own individual claim. All right, let's get a little nerdy here, shall we? Because a court could toss out this lawsuit if it finds Costco already had some kind of adequate remedy in this. The White House could argue, for instance, that Costco can simply file a protest to delay liquidation, which is essentially delaying the final tariff calculation on imports, kicking the can down the road, so to speak. However, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection denied Costco's request to pause that process, and Costco argues that's not all liquidations can even be challenged through a protest. All right, done being nerdy now. Charlie and Manda, Costco is one of dozens of companies, as you mentioned, that have filed similar lawsuits. No comments from Costco. The White House did respond, basically saying it's going to be an economic mess if they have to pay back hundreds of millions of dollars.
All right. You can always be nerdy with us, Luke. Thank you.
There you go.
6:06 now on Seattle's Morning News. Seattle police are investigating an early morning fatal shooting at a hookah lounge yesterday.
We get the details on this from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
SPD investigators are still trying to figure out what happened at this hookah lounge near Rainier Avenue South and South King Street. It happened just before 8 o'clock. SPD Detective Eric Munoz says it started with an altercation inside the lounge.
Shortly after that altercation, the suspect fired multiple rounds into the area of the hookah lounge from just outside, and one of those bullets did, in fact, strike our victim.
Anyone with information about this shooting should call 911. In the CID, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
State Patrol bomb squad was called in after someone reported a case full of grenades. This happened in Kitsap County. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss.
Two homeowners were staying at a different house while their home was under construction and found 10 live grenades along with blasting caps and other explosive devices in the backyard. The explosives team managed to safely secure the explosives. Now investigators are trying to figure out how they got there.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, good morning. It's Tuesday, December 2nd, Taco Tuesday for those who celebrate. I'm Charlie Harger along with Manda Factor.
Just made my dinner plan. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Chris Sullivan is here checking traffic on the threes. Producer David Burbank is in the studio with us.
Of course, we have Katrina Gishard out at the news desk. She's following the big stories of the morning. And check this out. Brady Robick is in for Nick Krasha today. Brady, I always love hearing your name come up at the end of the Seahawks radio broadcast when Steve Rabel thanks you. So thanks for coming off the Seahawks high and just joining us here at Seattle's Morning News.
Oh, no problem. It was a great game, so I'm always in a good mood after those.
All right. Great having you here. This hour is Seattle's Morning News, sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
And coming up, Sully, you have a choke point.
Yeah, I do. We're going to take a look at the opening of the Federal Way light rail system, which starts this weekend, and just how far behind it is, really, when it comes to scheduling.
Plus, we've been reporting on this for the past month and a half or so. A youth pastor who pled guilty to raping a teenager has continued to cause controversy in Auburn's community community leadership. Now, the mayor of Auburn is making an official statement on the scandal. We will hear Mayor Nancy Backus's comments at a city council meeting last night.
It's now 6:09. International student enrollment is at an 8-year low at the University of Washington.
In the fall of 2025 quarter, 7,439 students were enrolled at UW's Seattle campus with international visas, according to the Times. That's 7% fewer than a year ago and nearly 10% less than in 2022, when the international student population was at its peak. Now, this year's drop was actually smaller than what the university was expecting, given President Trump's crackdown on immigration and higher education. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Some good news for some UW students. Lab science students at the University of Washington won't have to pay senior year tuition. There is an anonymous gift worth $50 million to help cover clinical rotations. Students will save thousands. The program will grow from 70 to 100 spots. UW says that helps ease a shortage of lab experts in the Northwest.
3 people taken into custody after an incident at Burien's Highline High School. Brandon Hull in the King County Sheriff's Office says this started about 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
We got reports there was somebody on campus with a gun, and so the school went into lockdown.
She says one student was assaulted, apparently pistol whipped. Deputies searched the school room by room and determined there was no threat. The lockdown lifted at about 2:30.
Lake Tapps residents are voicing concern after several dead birds, including swans and a goose, were pulled from the water. State Department of Fish and Wildlife believes avian flu may be to blame, but the birds were not tested. Dr. Katie Heyman with the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
We're monitoring the situation. So if there's 10 to 15 sick or dead birds within a short period of time, then we will test to confirm that it is in fact avian influenza, at least at the beginning of that outbreak. Unfortunately, we don't have the capacity to test every single sick or dead wild bird on our landscape.
Neighbors say they're worried about the risk to pets and nearby livestock as waterfowl often visit local farms. Officials urge people to report sick or dead birds.
Holiday cheer in Centralia has been dimmed after vandals caused more than $20,000 in damage to a beloved Christmas light display. Police tell KIRO 7 TV the destruction happened at Borst Park last Tuesday, where the annual drive-through show draws families from across the region. Organizers found wires cut, decorations smashed, and displays ruined. Despite the setback, volunteers are working to fix what they can.
Well, it appears researchers are closer to a possible cure for HIV. According to the Seattle Times, there are 2 studies out this week which include work by local scientists. One study looked at a combination immunotherapy, which it appears to put patients in long-term remission without having to take medication. The other looks at a possible cure using a stem cell transplant in an HIV patient with cancer.
A Seattle Mariners legend, Felix Hernandez, could be getting a call to join the Hall of Fame. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas has more.
Felix Hernandez, playing his entire 15-year career in Seattle, made his debut back in 2005 at just 19 years old, and what a stellar tenure he put together during his time, amassing more than 2,000 strikeouts, racking up more than 2,700 innings pitched. He's a 6-time All-Star, a Cy Young Award winner, and let's not forget his perfect game against the Tampa Bay Rays back in 2012. Now, we'll find out if he made the cut for Cooperstown on January 20th, but he is still eligible for the next decade if he doesn't make it this year.
I think he should. What do you think?
I am going to take a strong stand on this one and say yes, Felix should be in the Hall.
I'm calling for Larry Bernandez to get in.
Oh, good call.
I'd forgotten about that.
Nice callback. It's 6:12. Time for a check on the weather. It's brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. And it's looking like today we're going to have some morning showers. High of 47 today. Kind of chilly overnight with lows in the mid to upper 30s. Mainly dry tomorrow, though. A high of 44. Rain makes a comeback for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Right now in Seattle, we have cloudy skies, and it's 41.
And it's 6:13. That's time to check traffic around here. We do that every 10 minutes. Here's Chris Sullivan.
And it turns out the left lane is blocked on southbound I-5 right at 529 there in Marysville. and that's why we have about a 3.5 to 4 mile backup that begins right before the Tulalip Outlet Mall and goes all the way down. Already up to 30 minutes to go from Arlington into Everett, about a 15-minute delay and growing. So be prepared. There's going to be some delays out of Arlington today. Once you get through that, it's pretty good. Through Everett down to about 128. Then you start seeing a few more breaks there, a little bit more away from Linwood. So we're already over 40 from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. So we're kind of off to the races there. Northbound 167 struggling through Pacific. We've got about a 2.5 mile backup there at this point going through the lane restrictions. You're probably going to need about an hour to go from Puyallup to Renton, about 20 minutes slower than you might expect. And then Renton to Bellevue, the S-curves are already active. 25 minutes to make the drive up into Renton. Northbound I-5 doing a little struggling out of Lacey, but all in all about a 40-minute trip to get you up to Tacoma. There are some brake lights through Fife up to 18, about 25 minutes to get you to Federal Way. Federal Way to Seattle's running a little over 40 minutes at this point. And I want to thank Ted, one of our many members of Sully's Army, reporting that there is a stalled truck blocking a lane near the Snohomish River Bridge on westbound 522 coming out of Monroe. If that sticks around, that has the possibility to really be an issue. So we're seeing some backup now, a little heavier than normal for this early in the morning. This report brought to you by the Victorian Christmas Festival, which is presented by the Puyallup Chocolates, December 4th through the 7th at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Buy your tickets at victorianchristmasfestival.com.
So if Sully gets an army, does that mean we can get a Navy or...
I don't know. You choose.
How about a Space Force?
Perfect.
Well, think about it. It is time to check in with Katrina Gashard. The mystery of the cans of cranberry sauce that are very watery continues to stir up controversy. What's going on here, Katrina?
It sure is. Okay, so there's a few viral videos out there of Ocean Spray cranberry sauce cans filled with water instead of the classic jelly treat. Listen to this.
Oh, nothing like that. Oh. That is sold us cans of water as cranberry sauce.
The clips racked up thousands of views, sparking debate over whether they're real, staged, or even AI generated. But another video shows it again, once again with water.
So-called cranberry sauce, jelly, water.
Now, Ocean Spray says it's taking the reports seriously, investigating how exactly this could happen and reaching out to the people to make it right. The company also said millions enjoyed cranberry sauce with no problem.
Okay, back it up. Did you refer to it as a classic jelly treat?
I did.
And she nailed it right on.
This is another reason to get a bag of cranberries and some sugar
I was
and make
about
it
to
yourself.
say, it's so easy. Just put it in a pot and let it reduce down.
Yeah.
Ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. All right. Thank you, Katrina. It's 6:16. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News on a Tuesday morning, along with Manda Factor. I'm Charlie Harger.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Solomon.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
All right, 8 more miles of light rail tracks are going to open to the public this weekend when service expands from Angle Lake south to downtown Federal Way.
About time, Sully.
Yeah, it is. Public transit advocates have been waiting for service to Federal Way since it was approved by voters under ST2 in 2008. Then, of course, came the housing bubble and the Great Recession, and plans for the extension were postponed and then folded into the new ST3, which was approved by voters in 2016. King County Council member Pete Von Reichbauer, who represents South King County, he admits he wasn't sure this was ever going to happen.
South King County's always felt it's the poor stepchild when it comes to transportation. This is the beginning of being accepted into the full family, whether we have recreational needs, going to the airport, going to work, going to see friends. This is finally linking South King County with the rest of King County.
The extension was supposed to open in 2024, but Sound Transit ran into soil issues along the route. The trains were supposed to run at grade along the freeway on I-5, but an eventual landslide erased those ideas. The project was delayed as engineers found a solution, which ended up being an elevated track through the problem area. If you drive I-5 regularly, you saw that right along the west side of I-5 as they figured out what to do there. Sound Transit then further delayed the opening until 2026, but then chose to speed it up with the continuing problems getting across Lake Washington on I-90. Somehow, CEO Dow Constantine still tries to sell this as ahead of schedule.
The fact that we're able to deliver it early and come in $500 million under budget is especially reassuring. We have a lot of challenges ahead, but we know that with each of these extensions, we're getting better and better at delivering what the people voted for.
Supposed to open in 2024, and now it's opening in 2025. Somehow that's ahead of schedule. But let me tell you how the math works at Sound Transit. You have someone, say, give you a contract to fix your kitchen, okay? They say it's going to take a month. And then about a month in, they're like, oh, it's going to take 9 months. And then they're like, oh, but we finished at 8, so it's a month ahead of schedule. That's not how scheduling works. As for the fuzzy math that Constantine is pushing on the project, the original price tag was pitched at $2 to $2.5 million. It ballooned at one point to almost $3 billion. And then it settled back near the top of the original estimates. So it came in about budget. So I'm not sure where we're going with that. But again, that's where we are in the truth of this thing. And let's not forget, as a whole, Sound Transit is running tens of billions over budget with no solid plans on how to fill the gap to build what was promised under ST3. But for all its problems, adding 3 new stations and service down to Federal Way is a good thing.
This is going to be a very big deal for our South King County cities, all the people who work or play in other parts of the region.
Light rail riders will have to wait at least another decade before the line extends down to the Tacoma Dome, also something approved by voters in 2016. Board member and show favorite, Auburn Mayor Nancy Backus.
I'm not the most patient of people, so I'd like to see it all done now, but it takes time, it takes money, and it takes effort, and it takes vision. And I'm really proud to be on the board who had the vision of ST3 to make sure that there is mobility around this region.
The Tacoma Dome link still in the planning phases, service scheduled to start in 2035. As for light rail over Lake Washington, test trains are supposed to start going across the floating bridge soon. Service from Seattle to Bellevue was supposed to start in the middle of 2023. Sound Transit had to rip up the original tracks because of flaws in the supports. It's supposed to start service sometime early next year, which would put that part of the project almost 3 years behind schedule.
Aren't those test trains supposed to be going across the floating bridge already?
Well, they did one where they pulled, and now they've added a couple of trains that they're doing some things overnight this week, where they're adding them to the one line to prepare for what happened when they go. Whether or not they're going over the lake, I haven't been able to confirm yet this week, but that's something that does have to happen before they can start operating service there across the lake. Again, it's never been done in human history to run a train over a floating body of water.
That'll be fascinating to watch. Where do things stand with the big picture here? Because we're $20-30 billion in the red, and there are these promises that we're going to bring stations to West Seattle. We're going to bring it, I think, Ballard.
Yep.
And you know,
to north to Everett, too.
And south to Tacoma at some point, right?
2035. And up to Everett by 2041. These are all things that were promised under ST3 2016. And as you saw, they raised the property taxes already, which is something they could do without voter approval or legislative approval. That's the way that it was written in the legislature when they created the RTA, the Regional Taxing Authority. And so now they're floating, what can we do for an ST4 to basically make up for these things all being way over budget, and they're in the process of trying to figure that out. The West Seattle station is ballooned like 4 or 5 $1 billion. It's almost $10 billion now to get to West Seattle. And they're not sure how they're going to do it or how they're going to bridge that gap, or whether or not it's time to just say, okay, we can do what we can do. However, the voters who did vote for this in 2016, again, it wasn't close in Seattle. People in King County really voted for it because they get most of the benefit. Pierce County rejected ST3. Snohomish County narrowly approved it. So I'm not sure where we go. But yeah, there are tens of billions of dollars in the red for trying to finish projects that voters said they wanted for $54 billion. It's now way north of 100. And where they're going to get the money, I'm looking at it. You, Amanda, David, Brady, Katrina, Luke. Yeah.
And that money translates, I don't have it in front of me, but that's tens of thousands for every person living in the regional taxing authority.
Again, if you want your tabs redone in King, Pierce, or Snohomish County, the RTA is part of it. And again, I've been paying for it, and I've ridden light rail twice out of Linwood. And so I'm not sure what my return on investment is.
Well, at least
not very good.
Light rail is going to help reduce traffic.
No, that was never the goal. If you remember how they pitched it for Sound Transit 3, it was never meant to reduce traffic because only 3% of the population is ever going to use it. So, yeah.
Well, then, do we need relief when it comes to traffic right now?
Well,
this morning?
I'll have to take a look at the map. Let me get my magic carpet.
It's 6:23. We check traffic every 10 minutes.
And whatever we were dealing with, this crash in the left-hand lane on southbound I-5 right after 529 in Marysville looks to have cleared because the backup has kind of moved to the north and doesn't quite extend as far. But you do hit it right before you get to Tulalip there at about 116th. Still have about a 30-minute trip from Arlington into Everett. That's plus 15. Pretty heavy on 204 down today to getting down to the Trestle. And then about a 45-minute trip from Everett to Bellevue, about 42 from Everett to Seattle. Starting to see the brake lights definitely there away from Linwood. Still trying to get a handle on just how badly this disabled vehicle is impacting our drive on westbound 522 across the Snohomish River. We do see a backup coming out of Monroe, so I could continue to use some help from up there if you're driving to let me know exactly what you're seeing. The Olympia to Tacoma drive, about 42 minutes. Brake lights are through about DuPont. Then after that, it's not bad. Then Federal Way to Seattle's about 45 minutes. It's an hour at least on the Valley Freeway from Puyallup to Renton. And then Renton to Bellevue's running around 25. The Lake Bridges are still fine. This report brought to you by the KIRO Radio Rundown. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476. Subscribe to get the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. Get your latest news and updates from your favorite shows right to your inbox.
Some showers this morning. We're headed for a high of 47, mainly dry tomorrow. Clouds, but also some sun breaks, a high of 44. Then rain makes a comeback for the next several days after that. In Seattle right now, it's 41.
Hey, December 10th, KIRO News Radio is celebrating 37 years of holiday magic. Join us as we share stories of hope and highlight the amazing work Treehouse does for youth in foster care across Washington.
And you can find out more by going to mynorthwest.com and also go to Holiday Magic. You can text us at 888-973-5476. Text the word MAGIC to 888-973-5476.
And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has a roundup of several vehicle-related crimes in Pierce County over the weekend.
And the opening bell report. This is Seattle's Morning News.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Paid political announcement.
More than half of short-term rentals across Washington are booked by Washingtonians. Families traveling for their children's tournaments and games. Firefighters fighting wildfires. Traveling nurses providing critical care. Every day, short-term rentals are helping make travel more affordable. Legislators in Olympia are considering increasing taxes on short-term rentals. But with the cost of everything going up, we can't take another price increase. Keep travel affordable for us. Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive host pack.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
For seniors, the holidays can be fun family time, but can also be a stressful time if you're struggling with bills. Our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be the holiday gift you're looking for.
Many seniors love their home but are struggling with mortgage payments and other bills. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You can pay off your debts and maybe put some extra money in the bank for peace of mind. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me or a highly experienced senior advisor. Never a sales pitch and never, ever an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts, Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts, and debt consolidation specialists, too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Fall is here and school is back in full swing. Can your bank keep up with your schedule? WaFd Bank can with free checking. Live your life and stick to your agenda without worrying about minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees. WaFd has thousands of fee-free ATMs and more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states. Plus, WaFd Bank offers useful tools like voice-activated banking, so you can check your balance and make transfers between your WaFd accounts when your hands are full. Visit WaFdBank.com to open your account. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home, thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education, and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earn. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:31. It was a busy weekend for Pierce County deputies. Investigators say a 21-year-old is behind bars after he allegedly stole a Corvette, led deputies on a chase, and filmed himself doing donuts in that stolen car.
And tragedy as a 69-year-old woman was killed by a driver who was arrested on suspicion of DUI.
We get more on both these stories from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Let's start with that Corvette. Just after midnight Saturday morning, deputies say they spotted that Corvette doing donuts at the intersection of 112th Street South and Pacific Avenue. They chased the Corvette, they say, and you can hear right here the suspect hitting the gas, getting away.
Eastbound 94 is headed towards Mac. So if you get advice, coma. He's clearly trying to do that.
Right there. A little later, deputies say they spotted the same Corvette in a driveway, and they questioned a 21-year-old and then handcuffed him.
We're going to actually put you in the handcuffs right now. We're detaining you. We'll explain it all here in a minute.
Then deputies say they looked at the suspect's social media account, and they claim they found this. Video shows a Corvette and another car doing donuts. The 21-year-old was arrested on suspicion of eluding, possession of a stolen vehicle, obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Deputies say he also had warrants for reckless driving and unlawful exhibition of speed in another jurisdiction. Also, over the weekend in Pierce County, a deadly crash and alleged DUI. Here's Deputy Carly Capetto. You're going to hear her talk about what happened, and you're going to hear body cam footage in the background from deputies at the scene talking with the suspect.
A 69-year-old woman was coming home from work and backing into her own driveway when she was T-boned by a 27-year-old male driver.
Hello, sir. Are you alone in this car, sir? Yeah. Okay.
Well, this happened in the 9000 block of Golden Given Road East. The female victim, again, died at the scene. According to deputies, the suspect was booked into Pierce County Jail on suspicion of vehicular homicide and DUI.
Thanks, Luke. It's 6:32. Seattle police homicide detectives are investigating a deadly shooting. It happened yesterday in Seattle's Chinatown International District.
It was just before 8 o'clock yesterday morning at a hookah lounge near Rainier Avenue South and South King Street. There was an altercation, multiple shots fired, one striking the victim, a man in his 30s, once in the back. SPD Detective Eric Munoz asking for the public's help.
If anybody knows the identity of this individual, call the SPD Violent Crimes Tip Line, 206-233-5000. Anonymous tips are always accepted.
A sunken tugboat was finally removed from the Bremerton Marina, and with the story, here's KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss.
It started sinking in September. The tug Dominion was a privately owned 130-foot World War II-era boat, and to get rid of it, the Coast Guard says they had to destroy it. Crews used skimmers and absorbents to take care of the oil and protect the local habitat. Officials say wildlife was not affected.
6:33 now. That's time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes for you. Here's Sully.
And we have a 20-minute delay to deal with on southbound I-5 between Arlington and the Marysville area and down on into Everett. We've got about a 40-minute trip there because of an earlier crash we had near 529. It's very slow today coming down past 116th and past the Outlet Mall and then a little bit more past the scene. So not exactly a good day out of Snohomish County. Once you get through that, it's not too bad till you get down to Linwood, and then you see a lot more as you pull away from Linwood on 405. I-5's not quite as bad. It's about 46 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, about 42 from Everett to Seattle, but we're definitely see the volumes building there. Renton to Bellevue, same deal, about 25 minutes for your drive there. Brake lights up to about 30th, and then after that, it's a pretty clean drive the rest of the way. Behind that, we've got about an hour from Puyallup to Renton, and most of the slowing we have there is getting up through the Pacific Bridge Strike area, where we only have the right lane open. Olympia to Tacoma's not bad at 40 minutes. Some brake lights up the hill to 18, and then Federal Way to Seattle's running around 50 minutes now. The lake bridges are still good. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Right now, buy one, get one 50% off at Lake Washington Windows and Doors, plus 12 months, 0% financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
We're expecting occasional showers throughout the morning, heading for a high in the mid-40s today. Tomorrow, it looks to be cloudy, a sprinkle or two, and highs again in the mid-40s, lows in the upper 30s. Next few days after that, we're looking for plain old rain here in the Seattle area. 44 now and cloudy at 6:35.
And that's time for the opening bell report. Costco is suing the Trump administration over its tariffs, as we hear from CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace.
In its suit filed at the U.S. Court of International Trade, the retail giant argues President Trump unlawfully used the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to impose his tariffs. Costco is seeking a full refund on all the tariffs it has paid. The Supreme Court is considering whether Trump had the legal authority to impose the tariffs. Dozens of other companies, including Bumblebee and Kawasaki, have also filed lawsuits seeking tariff refunds.
Costco's not said how much it paid in tariffs, but says 1/3 of its sales are from imported goods.
Amazon is back to building in Bellevue. Work has resumed on the Artis Tower after more than a year on pause. City records show permits were filed in September for the 25-story project. The skyscraper will hold thousands of employees and spans over 600,000 square feet. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, Amazon expects about 25,000 workers in Bellevue in the coming years.
Prediction markets think the White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett will be President Trump's pick to succeed Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Jason Brooks of CBS News Money Watch has more.
Online prediction market Kalshi is seeing odds jump to more than 80% in favor of Hassett being tapped by President Trump to lead the Federal Reserve, with former Fed Governor Kevin Warsh trailing far behind in second place with 12% odds of succeeding Jerome Powell. The president over the weekend said he will soon announce his decision on Powell's replacement, following a contentious year of publicly lambasting Powell for not lowering interest rates quickly enough, frequently calling the Fed chair too late Powell.
Powell's term ends in May of next year. He's expected to also step down from his position as a Fed governor. That post runs until 2028.
Two of the nation's largest smoke detector makers face a federal class action lawsuit.
The suit, filed here in Washington, according to KIRO 7 TV, claims Kidde and First Alert misled consumers for decades about the ability of their ionization-only smoke alarms to warn people in time during common household fires, usually smoldering fires, the kind that are most likely to happen overnight when people are asleep. Sometimes, according to the suit, the devices respond too late or not at all. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Construction is underway on a major affordable housing project in Seattle's Central District. New Hope Missionary Baptist Church broke ground Sunday on 92 apartments. The church owns the land and will keep that ownership under the plan. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports the $54 million project replaces a triplex and a single-family home. Mayor-elect Katie Wilson spoke at the ceremony, calling housing the top priority.
For some drivers, prices at the pump may bring a bit of holiday cheer. Here's Jesse Mitchell.
Drivers are feeling some relief at the pump so far this holiday season. Gas Buddy, which makes a price tracking app, says the average price of a gallon of gasoline fell to $2.95, the lowest level in more than 4 years. AAA says the average price for a gallon of gas stands slightly higher at about $3 as of Monday, which is down about 7 cents from last week. Gas Buddy says lower crude oil prices and softer demand are behind the decline.
You want me to read the number for Seattle area, don't you?
No, can you say $2.95? Because that sounds really nice.
Yeah, that does sound nice. A little bit north of that.
Yeah.
Current average, according to AAA, $4.41 a gallon here in Seattle.
$4.41. It's 6:39. Seattle is mourning a culinary legend. Jean Han Locke, the founding executive chef of Wild Ginger, has died. Born in China, Locke immigrated to the U.S. as a child, later served in the Army, before launching a hospitality career that spanned 5 decades. Under his leadership, Wild Ginger became one of Seattle's most celebrated restaurants, earning a James Beard Award in 1997. He was 90 years old.
And on Wall Street right now, we're opening in the positive on all the indexes. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 38 points. S&P 500 is ahead by 29, and the NASDAQ is ahead by 200 points.
A word for KIRO 7 News, live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News that's happening now so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers. News that's local because where you live matters. No more, no now. On KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m.
Okay, Sully, what's coming up in traffic on the 3s?
Well, we're going to take a look at our busiest drive, which is coming down from Arlington. We'll break it down for you next.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
AAA asked me if I would change my name from Sir Mix-a-Lot to Sir Mix-a-Lot. I said, why would I do that? They said, you're more than just a rapper. You're a car collector. You're a businessman. You're an inventor. Just like AAA is more than just towing. They have awesome travel advisors and insurance agents. And they got 3 A's in their name. Maybe I should change my name. Give me 3 A's. Mix, mix, When I say mix, give me 3 A's. Mix, What's your holiday tradition? It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
The Pacific Northwest is the perfect backdrop for the holiday season. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law reminds us that the roadways don't always agree.
It's that combination of additional travel, changes in routine, and winter weather that make this the most dangerous time of the year to be behind the wheel.
Any safety tips to help commuters keep the holidays joyful?
The number one cause of accidents remains distracted driving, even during the holidays. So store that cell phone in a place that eliminates temptation. It's imperative we set the example for our teens. Also, be aware of abrupt changes in the weather and prepare for it. Sometimes it's as simple as allowing additional distance for following or stopping. Lastly, make sure your vehicle is properly maintained for winter.
That includes four-wheel drive and chains when required at the pass. Please follow these safety precautions from my good friends at Pendergast Law and keep you and your neighbors safe this holiday season.
Happy holidays from all of us at Pendergast Law.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
It's 6:43, time for Traffic on the Threes with Chris Sullivan.
And it's not the day you want it. Coming down out of Arlington, you're going to hit the brakes on southbound 5 about well before 116th, and you're on them all the way down through Marysville. Travel time about 35 minutes to get you down into Everett. That's a 20-minute delay there. Had an earlier crash right near 529. Rest of the map up in Snohomish County starting to fill in, definitely westbound 204-2 as you try to get to the east end of the trestle. And we're seeing some brake lights as well from about 128 down through Linwood, and definitely away from Linwood across the county line. So we're up to about 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Northbound 167 continues to struggle through Pacific. We have a very heavy brake pattern there coming up from Sumner. It's over an hour to go from Puyallup to Renton, and only 22 of that is out of Auburn. And then Renton to Bellevue is about a half an hour now. We're definitely seeing a lot more brake lights up past 30th and then a little bit more into the Bellevue area. Northbound I-5, Federal Way to Seattle, relatively normal day for you guys, about 50 minutes to make the drive at this point. Olympia to Tacoma is under 40 minutes. Lake Bridges, fine. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Our forecast, we'll see a few showers this morning. Dry for the afternoon, though. We're headed for a high of 47. Tomorrow looks like a mainly dry day. Some clouds and some peaks of sunshine. Only 44 for the high tomorrow. Overnight lows in the upper 30s. Thursday, here comes the rain again. It is 44 in Seattle right now.
Target's Black Friday giveaway getting dragged in social media. Here's Katrina with the story.
Customers say its swag bags were a major letdown. Sebastian says he lined up at 3 a.m. expecting something special, but he says the bag felt like random leftovers. Listen to this.
You're telling me that people waited in the freezing cold for perfect air dry shampoo, a packet of electrolytes drink mix, Uno cards, some nerd candy, and this disgusting, ugly shade of Elf. Listen, I know this is totally optional, and I didn't have to wait in line, but you could even put like a gift card.
More videos online show plenty of shoppers with the exact same bag. Some say the giveaway was supposed to rebuild trust with customers. Instead, it backfired.
Yeah, it did. Word got to my son, Sam. He's 13, and he's telling his mom and me in the car about this terrible gift bag. So if he found out about it, I mean, this is just bad publicity all around.
Yeah, not a great look.
Okay.
What'd they expect, a Rolex?
Yes, maybe two.
I guess some of the bags did have gift cards and like a slushy machine, and it's like some of the random ones.
Some of the random ones, okay, yeah. Instead of stuff found in the couch cushions.
Yeah. Hey, the Seahawks have just 2 home games left this regular season, and we want you to be there. KIRO Newsradio is giving away 4 tickets to the game December 14th. All you have to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't have the app, just text app, APP, to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link. You can enter daily to increase your chances. The contest runs through Monday, December 8th.
On the way, after over a month, we are now hearing an official response from Auburn's mayor about a youth pastor she vouched for who pleaded guilty to child rape. We'll hear Mayor Backus's statement next on Seattle's Morning News.
The holidays are here and we all want to celebrate in style, but sometimes stubborn fat and loose skin keeps us from looking and feeling our best. Stacey Rost here. Imagine a simple one-day solution. Introducing ProSculpt, the treatment everyone is talking about. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe, gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while you're fully awake. ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas, your waistline, face, neck, arms, and thighs. Avoid wasting time and money on gimmicky lasers or fat-freezing methods. ProSculpt is one and done. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat, tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. Celebrate the holidays and get yourself a gift with a free consultation and get $250 off. Schedule at ProSculpt.com for powerful, permanent fat removal and skin tightening. It's ProSculpt.com.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
Worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
That's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchy's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member, you get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchy's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchy.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Mariners tickets for 2026 are on sale now.
Number 60! A catcher has hit 60 home runs!
Cal Raleigh and your AL West champs will be back in action before you know it. And now's a great time to lock in your seats for the biggest games. We'll be celebrating our 50th season all year long, from opening day on March 26th to epic events like Randy Johnson's number retirement. Plus, don't miss marquee matchups against the Yankees, Phillies, and more. Go to Mariners.com to get your tickets today.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
6:49 now. We told you in October how Auburn Mayor Nancy Backus wrote an email in 2022 that asked for leniency for a youth pastor who had just pleaded guilty to child rape.
Well, last night at a city council meeting, Backus made a statement on our report. Here are her comments in their entirety.
There was a media story that came out in October that included me and others in the community that centered around a man named Joshua Headley. Before I continue, I want to say that my heart goes out to the survivor and to everyone this case may have hurt. What she has endured is unimaginable, and she deserves our full support and belief. I understand that this story may have reopened wounds for her and for others, and I am deeply sorry for any pain my actions in this may have caused. Now, the story itself has many irregularities, but I'm only going to address the portion that included me. I'll let the other parties involved decide whether they want to correct or clarify their portion of the story. For a timeline, around 2016, a young pastor named Josh Headley asked to meet with me. During that meeting, we talked about how he could give back to the community. I had been wanting to reestablish the faith-based roundtable and asked if Josh could help do that. He did, and those meetings began to occur monthly in late 2017. Those meetings were focused on how the churches in Auburn could assist with homelessness issues we were facing. Josh and the church he pastored, Revive, also helped out with National Day of Prayer after some of the other local pastors decided not to participate a couple of years later. In 2020, COVID devastated our world. People were dying, hurting, and communities were gathering to help. I was proud of Auburn for the way we faced the pandemic. Many of the churches were helping their parishioners and others with food baskets. Revive worked every weekend at the outlet collection to provide healthy food boxes for 200 to 300 families, and that continued for several months. They also did holiday toy giveaways for families in our community in need. On June 22nd, 2022, I received an email from Josh asking for my personal email account because he wanted to ask me a question. On October 12th, 2022, I sent a draft declaration of support for Josh from my personal email account to my city email account. In that draft, I did acknowledge that I was aware Josh was pleading guilty to an offense with a minor. I also mentioned Josh and Revive's work in our community and asked the judge to consider treatment for Josh as opposed to prison time. I do believe in restorative justice. And for me, restorative justice means that everyone involved in the crime is allowed to heal and grow. I have had no contact with Josh since the June 22nd, 2022 correspondence. I had no knowledge of his actions at that time. I had no knowledge of the sentencing or the imprisonment or anything else. In 2024, I read a copy of the police report regarding the case, and I was disgusted. I truly regret drafting the declaration and have said so many times. In 2025, this became political fodder, and a document filled with half-truths was distributed by those supporting some of my opponents based on some public records requests that included that draft declaration. On October 3rd, 2025, I received an email from a reporter asking questions about my actions. I responded on October 7th, 2025, and responded the following day to follow up clarifying questions. Since that time, our legal department has sifted through all public documents related to that case. The declaration is not part of the file. There has also been an independent public records request with those same results. The declaration is not part of the court case. Now, I remained silent during October and November because it was political. At least a portion of this was political, and I was not going to add to that. I have been asked when I was going to publicly make a comment. This tonight is my public comment, and it will be my only public comment moving forward.
Auburn Mayor Nancy Backus responding to our report.
6:53 now. Let's head over to the traffic desk where Chris Sullivan is watching the roads.
And we have a 20-minute delay on southbound I-5 as we work our way from Arlington down into the Everett area because of an earlier crash we had at 529. So it's 40 minutes to make it down into Everett. And then we have about an hour drive now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, maybe a little under depending on how you hit it. Primarily we're away from Linwood where we're going to hit the brakes the hardest. Northbound 167 struggling through Pacific. Only the right lane open there as we've gotten used to. Give yourself an hour to go from Puyallup to Renton. 25 of those minutes are out of Auburn, and then Renton to Bellevue's running right around a half an hour. Northbound I-5, seeing some brake lights through Nisqually, but you can handle it. It's only about 40 minutes to Tacoma. Some brake lights through the Fife Curve up to about 18. 22 minutes to Tacoma to Federal Way, and then Federal Way to Seattle's running just under an hour. It's kind of the off and on annoying braking today where you kind of get up to speed, then you go slow, then you get up to speed, you go slow. Looks like we do have a disabled vehicle, though, on the Duwamish River Bridge as you work your way up from Tukwila. It's in the right-hand lane, so watch for that. The lake bridges are still fine. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, you might get a little wet this morning, just some scattered showers, but drying out for the afternoon. We're headed for a high of 47 for today. Tomorrow looks like the only real dry day of the week. Some peaks of sunshine. Chilly, though, only 44 for our high tomorrow. Here comes the rain again on Thursday. Rain at times 47. Friday, Saturday, showers will continue into the low 50s. Right now in Seattle, mostly cloudy and 44.
Coming up on the next hour of Seattle's Morning News, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey on Costco's lawsuit against the Trump administration.
Also, News Nation host Leland Vithert weighs in on the big national stories of the week. That's coming up at 7:15.
And you can always text the show, 888-973-5476. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Paid political announcement.
More than half of short-term rentals across Washington are booked by Washingtonians. Families traveling for their children's tournaments and games. Firefighters fighting wildfires. Traveling nurses providing critical care. Every day, short-term rentals are helping make travel more affordable. Legislators in Olympia are considering increasing taxes on short-term rentals. But with the cost of everything going up, we can't take another price increase. Keep travel affordable for us. Paid for by Airbnb helps our State Thrive host pack.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
If you're wearing glasses or contacts, but you need reading glasses or bifocals now, you need to join Doctors Kopstein and King for the K2 Vision RLE live webinar this Thursday at noon to learn about refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE. This free webinar is a perfect opportunity to meet the doctors and have them answer all your questions about K2 Vision RLE. Questions like, how much does RLE cost? Is financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE? These questions and lots more will be covered this Thursday at noon during the K2 Vision RLE free live webinar. K2 Vision surgeons have performed over 150,000 procedures. They know when RLE is right for you. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Plus, no more cataracts. Don't miss the free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Register at K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the third annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
Take your business to the next level in 2025 with help from WaFed Bank. WaFed Bank's business accounts and cash flow tools get you paid in hours, not weeks, so you can grow your business and meet your goals. You need a best bank. Visit wafedbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Vicki Barker. U.S. Envoy Steve Witkoff is handing the revised U.S. peace plan for Ukraine over to Russian President Putin this hour, but there's skepticism in Ukraine. Here's the BBC's James Waterhouse.
President Zelensky says he is taking these U.S.-led diplomatic efforts absolutely seriously, but has also accused Moscow of talking up its battlefield progress after Russia's defense ministry reported the captures of Vovchansk in Ukraine's Kharkiv region and Pokrovsk in the east. The Kremlin has once again said it is open to talks, but doubled down on wanting to achieve its military aims. Vladimir Putin seemingly still believes he's winning this war, as he shows little sign of compromise.
Ukrainian President Zelensky and many European leaders fear the final plan will reward Russia for invading Ukraine, which they fear could set a dangerous precedent for the entire region. Will we ever get to the bottom of that second U.S. strike on a suspected Venezuelan drug smuggling ship? The Washington Post reports it was a mop-up operation, illegally finishing off wounded survivors of the first strike. The commander involved is briefing lawmakers behind closed doors later this week. But former Attorney General Alberto Gonzales tells CBS Mornings he has doubts.
We have to remember that the President of the United States controls the Department of Justice. So whether or not there would be any kind of investigation or a thorough investigation based on past experience, people have questions about that.
Gonzales served under President George W. Bush. On this Giving Tuesday, tech billionaires Michael and Susan Dell say they'll deposit $250 into individual investment accounts for 25 million American children. That's a total of $6.25 billion pledged for the program created as part of President Trump's tax and spending legislation. As the Dells put it,
we've seen what happens when a child gets even a small financial head start
their world expands.
The real power of these accounts is that anyone can contribute. Parents, relatives, friends.
Now, it was supposed to be a slam dunk in redder than red Tennessee, but today's vote in Tennessee's 7th congressional district has turned into a cliffhanger. CBS News correspondent Nicole Valdez spoke with the Democratic candidate, State Representative Afton Bain.
Why do you think that you have a shot at winning in a district where President Trump won by 22 points?
The voters are tired. They're tired. I have routinely said throughout the campaign, I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what political party you belong to. If you are upset with the cost of living and the chaos of Washington, then I am your candidate.
Polls put the race at too close to call. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
7:03 now, Seattle's Morning News. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic on the threes.
And we are setting up for a typical Tuesday out there, which means our brake lights are heavy and they're right where they should be. The one exception is the 20-minute delay we have on southbound I-5 trying to get from Arlington down into Marysville, where we continue to work with the remnants of this crash near 529 that was in the left-hand lane. We're backed up all the way to about 140th coming down out of the Arlington area. It's 40 minutes to get you down into Everett. That is a 20-minute delay, and then you've got about an hour drive from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. So we're off to the races out of Snohomish County. Northbound 167 continuing to struggle as you make your way through Pacific, and I'm getting reports there might actually be a crash there as you work your way through that construction zone coming up out of Sumner. Our drive from Puyallup to Renton is about 20 minutes slower than you might have expected, and then Renton to Bellevue is about a half an hour. Northbound I-5 still have the brake lights through the Duwamish curve because of a stall in the right lane. Overall, 35 minutes from South Center, an hour all the way from Federal Way, and it looks like we do have a stall partially blocking eastbound 18 as you get up toward the Tiger Mountain Summit. Starting to see a sizable backup there. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company look good with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, and more. Visit SUPLinen.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from Eastlake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
Good morning. It's 7:04. Costco joining dozens of businesses suing the Trump administration to get back money spent on tariffs.
The company filed Friday in the suit in the U.S. Court of International Trade, saying it wants a refund immediately.
And joining us live with details, here's KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, Charlie, Costco wants its money back so badly, it's not even going to wait around for the U.S. Supreme Court to weigh in on this issue. Now, to impose tariffs, Trump invoked the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. In August, the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals said Trump cannot do that. On November 5th, the U.S. Supreme Court then heard oral arguments on the issue. No word when they're going to release their opinion. The lawsuit does not say how much money Costco wants back, but unless Costco files a claim now, it says a Supreme Court ruling alone doesn't guarantee they could recoup anything. All right, so how could all this play out in court? Well, let's dig a little deeper here, because courts often look to see if there's an adequate remedy for a company like Costco instead of a lawsuit. In this case, the White House might argue that Costco can simply file a protest to delay liquidation, essentially delaying the final tariff calculation on its imports, kind of like kicking the can down the road. However, Costco is trying to cut them off at the pass, saying U.S. Customs and Border Protection denied Costco's request to pause the process. And Costco argues in their lawsuit not all liquidations can even be challenged through a protest. The reason I bring all that up is because most likely it will come up in their arguments in this court case. Charlie and Manda, no comment from Costco so far. The White House did respond, though, and they basically said it's going to be an economic mess to refund hundreds potentially of millions of dollars to all these companies that are suing.
Yeah, that would be really fascinating when that number comes out. You said we don't have it, but how much Costco has spent on these tariffs, especially if they wind up not being enforced.
Exactly, and how much did they perhaps pass down to the consumers, all of us, as well?
Okay. Thank you, Luke. It's 7:06. A gunman is on the loose following a deadly shooting yesterday. It happened at a hookah lounge in the Chinatown International District.
We get the details from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Homicide investigators arrived on scene immediately after the shooting, and at the same time, officers on the street were looking for the suspect. Not much is known about exactly what happened here, other than that it started with an altercation inside the lounge. The gunman left and then fired from outside the front door. SPD Detective Eric Munoz.
The motive is still unknown, but we do know he was involved with an altercation. Shortly after that, he pulled out a gun and started firing multiple rounds.
The victim was shot once in the back and died during surgery. In the CID, James Lynch, KIRO Newsradio.
A high school in Skagit County is mourning the loss of a teacher killed in an early morning crash yesterday.
And KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss has details.
State Patrol says 4 vehicles were involved in the crash on SR 20 when one car crossed the center line and slammed into another. Edmundo Corrales, a Spanish teacher at Anacortes High School, was killed. The school says grief counselors will be available to students and staff. The school district released a statement saying Senor Corrales was a dedicated educator whose warmth, humor, and passion for teaching touched the lives of countless students and colleagues. His commitment to helping students grow academically and personally made him an irreplaceable part of our school community.
Keeping you informed since 1974. You're listening to Seattle's Morning News.
Well, thanks for being with us on this Tuesday. It's December 2nd. Along with Charlie Harger, I'm Manda Factor.
I know they sound completely different, but I always get the Pixies and the Posies mixed up in terms of what band is playing. I think that's the Pixies,
They're
right?
both fun to say, yes.
Okay, all right.
Pixies.
Where's my mind?
Yeah, I've seen him in concert. But,
Brady,
yeah.
Nice choice of music there, Brady.
I'm here for y'all.
Thank you.
Well, we have Brady over there. He's running the board and picking the music, filling in for Nick this morning. Sully is at the traffic desk. Katrina is out at the news desk. And you just heard producer David Burbank in the studio with us.
Coming up this hour of the show, our weekly chat with News Nation's Leland Vittert, host of On Balance. It airs weeknights at 9 here in Seattle. He's going to give us some insight into the big national stories of the week.
And in today's 7:35 commentary, we're doing everything we can to make life more convenient, but what's the cost of that convenience? I talk about that in the case of grocery shopping. Some of my experiences over the past couple of weeks. We'll talk about it at 7:35.
It's now 7:09. Dead birds have been found in Lake Tapps in Pierce County, and KIRO 7 TV's Allison Amoy reports residents believe it's the result of bird flu.
The biologists at the State Department of Fish and Wildlife suited up and removed 3 dead wild birds, 2 trumpeter swans and 1 Canada goose.
She basically said the assumption was it was avian flu.
That conclusion came because all 3 birds exhibited similar symptoms and died within days in proximity of one another. But the biologist told the resident the state would not be testing the birds, making the neighbors here uneasy, especially as this virus can be quickly spread among animals.
The department is monitoring the situation and says testing is conducted if there are 10 to 15 sick or dead birds within a short period of time.
Highline High School in Burien was locked down for about 90 minutes. It happened yesterday afternoon. Here's KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
Reports came in about someone with a gun on campus around 1 p.m.
There was some sort of altercation between kids.
One student was assaulted, apparently pistol whipped, according to Brandon Hull in the King County Sheriff's Office. 3 people taken into custody. The lockdown lifted around 2:30. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
We now know the name of a woman killed in a train crash last week in Pierce County. The Pierce County Medical Examiner says 90-year-old Virginia Thompson died near the Stillicum Ferry dock. Deputies were already looking for Thompson and her husband that night. Their son reported them missing earlier, saying both have dementia. Bystanders pulled her husband from the car just before impact. He survived. He's recovering in the hospital.
Fewer international students are attending the University of Washington. Enrollment at the Seattle campus dropped to 7,439 this fall. That's an 8-year low, according to the Seattle Times. UW actually anticipated an even bigger drop, given the Trump administration policies targeting immigration and higher education.
In Kittitas County, a dog is safe after falling 20 feet down a crevasse. KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas has details.
This happened in the Roslyn Urban Forest. Nearly a dozen different teams had to come out to help rescue her after her owners realized she had disappeared while going on a walk. But it was a race against time. Luckily, after spending 7 long hours in the freezing water, they were able to pull her out.
She was absolutely fine. Scratches and bruises, but even those are fairly minor. But no hypothermia at all.
Those owners say they're grateful for all those who helped out with the rescue.
A new video game ad features one of the toughest group of defensive players in NFL history. Here's KIRO News Radio's Heather Bosch.
In the video game, Ready or Not, players take on the roles of a SWAT team. In a new ad,
the Legion of Boom is dominant.
Members of the Seahawks Super Bowl winning secondary, like Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor, are suited up as SWAT officers and running actual drills.
You have to move as a team. Ready?
We ain't got no speech. We're not getting no hype-up speech.
Then they team up to play the video game. No word on how well the gamers did. But it sounded like fun. Heather Bosch, KIRO Newsradio.
No hype-up speech. What the heck?
I didn't see the ad, but it sounded, Sully, like maybe these were not Emmy Award-worthy performances.
No, I thought it was a joke at first, and then I thought, okay, is there some sort of tie-in to one of their restaurants or something? And then I'm like, this is real?
It's always fun to see them together.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Okay. It's 7:12. Let's take a look at the weather forecast. It's brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. These morning showers will clear out by the afternoon. Partly, maybe even mostly cloudy. A high of 47. Tomorrow we stay dry. It's the dry day for the week. 44, 4-hour high. And then rain Thursday through the weekend. Right now in Seattle, it's 43 and cloudy.
And it's 7:13. That's time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes for you. Here's Sully.
And we're working with a 20-minute delay on southbound I-5 trying to get from Arlington down into Everett. 40 minutes to make that drive. The backup really is because of an earlier crash we had at 529, and we're still kind of digging through that. Once you get through it, it's about an hour and 5-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Really heavy away from Linwood on 405, almost all the way down now to 522. I-5 breaks free a little bit past the Edmonds exit there by the Nile Golf Course. Northbound 167 is struggling today. It's up to about an hour and 15-minute trip to go from Puyallup to Renton. Not only do we have the brake lights through Pacific, where we lose 2 out of 3 lanes, but there's also a crash in that backup there. And then also I'm looking for a crash on northbound 167 approaching the 405 corridor. It is bumper to bumper right at 180th, so I'm working to get more there, but significant delays on the Valley Freeway today. Then Renton to Bellevue is about a half an hour. Federal Way to Seattle, a little over an hour. The good news is the stall has cleared. Northbound I-5 right at the Duwamish River curves, so that's not too bad of a thing. Olympia to Tacoma, we have brake lights down through the Nisqually Basin. Nothing but volume there. 42 minutes to make the drive. Lake bridges are fine. Still struggling over Tiger Mountain as we get reports of a stalled vehicle there that's partially blocking one of the lanes as you get to the summit. This report brought to you by ProSculpt, the one-day permanent fat loss and skin tightening solution for men and women. Offered by New Skin Med Spa in Bellevue. Book your free consult at prosculpt.com.
7:14 now on Seattle's Morning News. We have a new word of the year. Remember, it was 6-7 from dictionary.com, I believe. But Oxford University Press, a much more prestigious organization, has his word of the year, and it is, Katrina,
rage baiting.
Okay, what is this?
It's defined as a social media post designed to inflame your sense of moral, political, or emotional outrage. British researcher Martha Newson says a cynical ploy to get clicks and money.
All the time that we do engage with it, we're feeding the algorithm and saying, yes, please, I'll have some more.
So her advice, when you come across a provocative post, ask yourself, is this appealing to your mind or your emotions?
I feel that sometimes. I know they do that, and maybe I shouldn't be surfing Twitter, or I mean X, as much as I do, but I'll see that and I'll be like, then I realize that this is exactly what they want me to do.
Yeah, they're winning.
They're winning. They're rage baiting. It's 7:15.
Well, the top U.S. peace envoy, Steve Witkoff, is in Moscow today for talks on the Ukraine war with Russian President Vladimir Putin. When they're done, we'll have a better idea if these high-stakes negotiations can stop the fighting. CBS News correspondent Holly Williams is in Ukraine covering the war that grinds on.
Russia says it's seized control of the town of Pokrovsk in eastern Ukraine, claiming it's an important step towards victory. The truth is that Russia's taking ground slowly and has paid for it with over 1 million Russian casualties, according to current estimates. But Vladimir Putin's tied his political legacy to this war. He lauded the capture of Pokrovsk yesterday and sounds reluctant to make peace.
7:16 now, and every Tuesday we call up the host of On Balance, airing 6 p.m. on News Nation. Leland Vitter joins us live to talk about the big national stories of the day.
Leland, good morning. Let's start with the intensifying backlash surrounding the Trump administration's strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean. So what does it appear Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth actually did here?
Well, I guess it depends on which news organization you believe, because if you read the New York Times this morning, it has debunked most of the Washington Post article. This all began with the Washington Post effectively saying that Hegseth ordered the killing of two defenseless drug smugglers in a second strike after the first Hellfire missile blew up their boat. And therefore, somehow Hegseth was the guilty party in a war crime, or he committed a war crime. Now the New York Times is putting a lot more sort of color and facts to this, that he is not the one who ordered the second strike. Hegseth wasn't. And number two, the people who were injured or had survived the first strike were trying to get back to their boat to continue their mission, which would have made them lawful targets. Again, this is all based on unnamed sources and various reporting, so you don't really know what the truth is. But suffice it to say that once again, we have a case not very different than the Kilmar Abrego Garcia case, which was the Maryland man deported to Venezuela, to El Salvador. He started as this innocent father who was just grabbed and sent to an El Salvadorian super prison, and Democrats all glammed on, and they all flew down to El Salvador and on, and then the narrative started to unravel, which it seems to be unraveling here as well.
Sounds like the admiral involved in this is going to be testifying to Congress later in the week. Is that, what do you think of that? Is that going to be a show trial, or will there be some substantive discussion there?
I think that it is a terrible precedent to set. And the reason is because you do not want America's generals and admirals being second guessed by Congress and having to sit there and make command decisions in the heat of war, thinking, what's this going to sound like on C-SPAN? We do not want the Ferguson effect for the U.S. military.
What are you watching for when it comes to the escalating tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela?
Whether or not we bomb Venezuela.
I think that's a good point. Why would we be bombing Venezuela?
It's interesting. We had Congresswoman Salazar on last night, and she kept saying there's a legal framework to take Maduro out. And no doubt Maduro is a communist thug. He's obviously part of narcotics out and gang organizations. There's all sorts of things to not like about Nicolas Maduro. And those who don't like him are trying to basically say to Donald Trump, you can do to Maduro what George H.W. Bush did to Manuel Noriega in Panama. And that may be very true. Salazar last night kept using the word legal framework. There's a legal framework. There's already a legal framework. Anytime I hear a politician, doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican or a spokesperson, can use the same phrase over and over and over again, it always makes me suspicious.
I want to switch gears and ask you about something you've been outspoken about on your warnotes.com newsletter. That's the cost of living. Case in point, how much did you spend on a Christmas tree? You actually spoke with an investment manager, Michael Green, about his piece, My Life is a Lie. What were your takeaways?
So the amount that I spent on a Christmas tree will still remain unsaid.
Come on, Leland.
Embarrassed by it.
Your dad isn't listening.
Break it out. $150.
Oh, not even close. I'm so embarrassed.
200. Closer.
We're not going to play. We're not going to play the guessing game. But
this dude spent $300 on a Christmas tree.
I think you did. What is it? A Noble?
Again, not going to play the guessing game. Nice try to all. But what I think is most interesting in the Michael Green piece, we linked to it on War Notes twice. I would encourage all of your listeners to go read it, but basically explain the trap that so many Americans are in right now who make between $30,000 and about $150,000 a year, that for every dollar of income they increase their income, effectively a dollar of social services, of government subsidies, gets taken away. So there's absolutely no way for especially young families to get ahead. This whole idea about the American dream effectively no longer existing for a huge part of America, especially young Americans. And it is a extraordinarily dangerous thing for our country because, as we've said for now a couple of years, America was built on the idea of being fundamentally fair, free, and exceptionally free of an aristocracy. Now we have an aristocracy. There's a guy from Seattle who's part of it named Jeff Bezos. You could put Bill Gates in there too. And that is a really dangerous thing for America.
And it doesn't sound like there's any easy solution, A, and B, both political parties face great danger with this.
I think that's true. I think the political party who's in power at the current moment, whether that be Democrats or Republicans, face a danger because there's a lot of people who are angry and simply want the system torn down. And that is the going vibe, if you will, in much of America. And so you're going to alternate back and forth between political parties of the people in power not tearing the system down, which Republicans are not doing. And then Democrats will come in and promise to tear the system down, which Democrats tried to do. And then they replace sort of fair play and a common understanding in America with DEI. Americans didn't like that, so they replaced it with Trump, who is now certainly changing things, but mostly to benefit the wealthy. And it's going to keep flip-flopping back and forth.
Okay, so this tree you got, with this tree, was it like a U-cut sort of thing? Or was this like a designer tree lot?
Is it at least the most beautiful tree you've ever had for Christmas?
The only thing I care about the tree is that my wife is happy.
Yeah.
Which is why I spent 45 minutes after we got home trying to make sure the tree was straight.
Smart
so
man.
I was down on my hands and knees, with the tree stand and screwing it and unscrewing it and moving it around until we finally realized after 45 minutes that the tree itself is crooked. It has like a C in it. So you can't actually make the tree straight.
That's character.
Maybe you should get, a partial refund for a non-straight tree. Save some money there, Leland.
Maybe you should get an artificial tree.
That will never happen, ever.
Leland Vittert, weeknight, 6 o'clock on News Nation. Leland, thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks, guys.
Always a pleasure. Thank you. It's 7:23. That's time to check traffic now. We do that every 10 minutes, and here's Sully.
You can always pull my trick and not get a tree until like 2 days before at Lowe's.
Come on.
Well, the last couple of years, Tommy's been playing football all the way through like 2 days before Christmas. So this year we'll probably do something different. We'll probably still go to Lowe's and try to get it 50% off. Looking at the drive now, wow, it's kind of ugly. We're looking at about a 20-minute delay, maybe more, on southbound I-5, working your way through Arlington down into Marysville because of a crash right near 529. It's going to take you over 40 minutes from Arlington to Everett, and then you have an hour and 10 from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with 50 of those minutes away from Linwood. It is just struggling there, especially on 405. I want to thank Patrick, who's helped me out, letting me know that 2 right lanes are now blocked north of 180th, approaching 405 as you come up 167, approaching 405. So you got that, plus the normal stuff in Auburn, then the normal stuff in Pacific. And we've got about an hour and 15-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton, at least 25 minutes behind schedule. It's 35 minutes alone just from Auburn, so that's pretty ugly. Northbound I-5 really struggling now, down through the Nisqually Basin, looking for something there. 45 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma, then Federal Way to Seattle is running at about an hour and 10 minutes. 35 minutes up to South Center, 35 minutes from Renton to Bellevue, about 35 minutes. The Lake Bridges are okay, though westbound 90 is starting to heat up just a bit. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your local favorite sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2.
Okay, this is really cool. I'm just reading this about Holiday Magic. It's coming up next week. That's going to be on December 10th. We'll have the all-day telethon here on KIRO News Radio. But one of the auction packages we will be giving away, if you have a little leaguer or a youth baseball team.
This is so sweet.
You know Tom Hutler.
Yeah.
The voice of the Mariners. You go to the game, he will voice your team's lineup.
How
that
cool is that?
one of the auction items. We're going to have a lot more. You can find out more about this and the big fundraiser coming up December 10th. Go to mynorthwest.com/Holiday Magic or text MAGIC to 888-973-5476.
All right, Charlie, you have a commentary coming up shortly.
Yeah, Leland is talking about it. I'm also going to talk a bit about it as well. Just going to the grocery store, what a different experience that is nowadays.
All right, this is Seattle's Morning News.
Hey, do you like spending extra money? Who doesn't, right? No, nobody does. And especially when it's on something like your utility bills, right? If those are noticeably higher in the winter or your home feels drafty, it could be because your attic and crawl space aren't properly insulated. It's Mike Salk here, and utility companies have special incentives to help with the cost of having your home properly insulated, including a once-in-a-lifetime rebate from Puget Sound Energy. So if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you may qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to properly insulate your crawl space and attic. Yeah, they'll cover up to 95% of the cost. So don't wait. Take advantage of an incredible rebate today. Call Crawl Pros and learn what's going on behind that crawl space and attic hatch for free, and also what energy rebates you're eligible for. These guys are great. Did an awesome job at my house. So if you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic, schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
From holiday hosting to unforgettable gifts, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. And now, during their Sizzle All the Way sale, you can get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $35 off with promo code SKY at checkout. I was lucky enough to receive Omaha Steaks as a gift, and it was everything I had hoped for. Items were individually packaged so I could cook for the entire family. Or if I was the only one home, I would treat myself with a delicious steak, sides, and even dessert. I loved those nights by myself. Right now is the perfect time to save on delicious gifts and holiday hosting favorites. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland. It's holiday magic made easy. Save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Sizzle All the Way sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code SKY at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That's omahasteaks.com, code SKY.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafi, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. This holiday season, give your home the gift it's been waiting for. Beautiful new windows and doors from Pella, making your home brighter, cozier, and more energy efficient for the year ahead. Right now, enjoy 40% off qualifying installs or 24 months of zero interest with equal payments. Premium products, expert installation, and service that feels like family. It's why homeowners across the Northwest trust Pella. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your in-home consultation today.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 7:31. It was a busy weekend for Pierce County deputies. Investigators say a 21-year-old is behind bars after he allegedly stole a Corvette, led deputies on a chase, and filmed himself doing donuts in that stolen car.
And tragically, a 69-year-old woman was killed by a driver who was arrested on suspicion of DUI.
We get more on both stories live from KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, so we have audio from body camera footage that you're about to hear. Just after midnight Saturday morning, deputies say they spotted a Corvette doing donuts at the intersection of 112th Street South and Pacific Avenue. They chased that Corvette, they say, and you can hear the suspect then hit the gas.
Eastbound 94 is headed towards Pack. So if you get advice, Tacoma. He's clearly trying to do this.
Yeah, there's the engine right there. A little later, deputies say they spotted the same Corvette in a driveway. They questioned a 21-year-old and handcuffed him.
We're going to actually put you in the handcuffs right now. We're detaining you. We'll explain it all here in a minute.
Then deputies say they looked at the suspect's social media account, and they claim this is what they found. The video shows the Corvette that you're listening to and another car doing donuts. The 21-year-old was arrested on suspicion of eluding possession of a stolen vehicle and obstruction of law enforcement. Also, over the weekend in Pierce County, a deadly crash and alleged DUI. Here is Deputy Carly Capetto. You're going to hear her over body camera footage, and then you're going to hear that footage, deputies at the scene talking to the suspect.
A 69-year-old woman was coming home from work and backing into her own driveway when she was T-boned by a 27-year-old male driver.
Hello, sir. Are you alone in this car, sir? Yeah. Okay.
He was kind of pinned, it looked like, from the video underneath the steering wheel. Couldn't really get out of that situation. This happened in the 9000 block of Golden Given Road East. The female victim tragically died at the scene. The suspect was booked into the Pierce County Jail on suspicion of vehicular homicide and DUI.
Thank you, Luke. 7:33 now. Let's head over to the traffic desk with Chris Sullivan.
Yeah, well, after a couple of nice, easy days through the Thanksgiving holiday and really through yesterday, we're back at it. We've got about an hour and 15-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, bumper to bumper, pulling away from Linwood. It's at least an hour from Linwood down to either one of those destinations. And if you're further to the north, we still have about a 20-minute delay getting into and through Marysville after a long-term crash near 529 there. We're running 40 minutes from Arlington into Everett, so that's not pretty. Valley Freeway, we are seeing the brake lights through Pacific, which is really heavy, and we've also had reports of a crash just north of 24th coming out of Sumner, and then we have one up at the north end that's been blocking two right lanes approaching 405. It's 35 minutes out of Auburn and about an hour and 15 all the way. That is not a good day coming up the valley. And then Renton to Bellevue is getting closer to 40 minutes, solid through the S-curves and then more over the top of I-90. Olympia to Tacoma, heavy brake lights down through Nisqually today, 45 minutes or more to make it up into Olympia, and then Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour and 15, heavy brake lights away from the beginnings of Boeing Field. 509 is also not too pretty either. Lake bridges are hanging in there. Eastbound 18 over Tiger Mountain continuing to struggle from the Issaquah Hobart Road, that because of a stall near the top of the summit. This report brought to you by the Victorian Christmas Festival, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, December 4th through the 7th at the Washington State Fair Events Center. Buy your tickets at thevictorianchristmasfestival.com.
Our forecast, you likely see some showers in the area this morning, but just cloudy for the afternoon. Should dry out. 47 our high today. Overnight lows in the upper 30s. Tomorrow, mainly dry. Only 44 tomorrow. And then the rain returns on Thursday. We'll see showers Friday and through the weekend. Right now, it's cloudy and 44 in Seattle.
Time for the 7:35 commentary. We use ClickList at Fred Meyer every week now for the main grocery run. It's convenient, it saves time, and honestly, it saves money because I'm not throwing cheesy poofs in the cart just because they're on sale. The workers there make a decent wage, and it's real work, no complaints. But it feels like something has shifted in the past month or so. Lots of stores have now gotten on the We'll Shop For You train. Yesterday, I was at a competing grocery store. My relationship with Fred Meyer is complicated, so sometimes I see other stores. The condiment aisle was completely blocked by a personal shopper with one of those oversized carts. She looked stressed, really stressed. There were regular shoppers stuck on both sides, unable to move forward, but unwilling to walk one aisle over to go around. So we all just waited. I needed tartar sauce. I could be patient. But look in the shopper's eyes. You could tell this was not her idea of a good time. She kept apologizing, moving as fast as she could, checking her phone, scanning items. You could feel the pressure she was under. Reminded me of the Saturday before Thanksgiving when I went to the big box store with the blue vests. Their personal shopping service is clearly getting more and more popular. The ratio of regular customers to personal shoppers felt about even there. Maybe the shoppers even outnumbered us. The workers are moving fast. They are racing around corners, blocking aisles with those massive carts. They are clearly on a tight deadline. Metrics to hit, apps tracking their every move. And you, the actual customer who drove to the store yourself, you feel like you're in the way. I guess this is progress. The convenience is real. People with mobility issues, this is a lifeline. Parents with small kids get hours back. Someone working 2 jobs doesn't have to choose between sleep and groceries. Those are genuine benefits. But we're trading something too. You lose the skill of picking your own produce, knowing what a ripe avocado feels like, knowing and spotting the good cuts of meat, reading labels yourself instead of trusting someone who's racing against a timer. And there's a class element. Walmart Plus runs $50 to $100 a year for this service. That might not sound like much for plenty of families, though. That is a luxury they can't swing. So they're in the store trying to shop, dodging the people who could afford to stay home. The stressed shopper in the condiment aisle finally cleared out yesterday. I grabbed my tartar sauce. She was already halfway down the next aisle, phone in hand, racing to the next item. And I guess there's no going back from this. The convenience is too appealing. The need is too real for too many people. But maybe we should be intentional about what we are building. A system where people shop from their couch while others sprint through stores on behalf of strangers, and the rest of us just trying not to get in the way. That's progress. It just looks a little different than I expected. And that's a commentary for December 2nd, 2025. You can always text the show at 888-973-5476 or leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
Cheesy poofs.
I like my cheesy poofs.
You love cheesy poofs.
Oh, no. Is that a South Park reference?
Of course it's a South Park reference.
It's 7:39. What's coming up in traffic, Sully?
We're looking at heavy brake lights in a couple of different places coming down from the north end, of course. And we'll talk about it coming up next.
Save the date, Wednesday, December 10th. Join KIRO Newsradio and Treehouse for the 37th Annual Holiday Magic, providing holiday gifts and year-round support for more than 6,500 kids in foster care statewide. Over the past 36 years of Holiday Magic, we've delivered 182,000 gifts across our state. Join KIRO Newsradio and Treehouse this year and share the joy of the holiday season. Wednesday, December 10th. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476 to learn more.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. It's all neurologists. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. Just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the 3rd annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
Black Friday deals are back at Dania Furniture. For a limited time, discover incredible savings on Nordic-inspired furniture and decor for every space in your home. From statement pieces for your living room to instant upgrades for the dining room, bedroom, and more. It's the perfect time to refresh your favorite space or reimagine your entire home. Dania Furniture. We make it simple. You make it home. Stop by your local showroom today or shop online at daniafurniture.com.
At Les Schwab Tires, our hearts shine bright. There's a toy drive-in store local children delight. For those who don't get many presents, you see, we aim for the season to sparkle with glee. In past toy drives, you've helped us inspire bright holidays for all, and our hearts never tire. So bring in a toy, we kindly implore, to fill a little neighbor's heart with joy to the core. This holiday season, give the gift of joy. Go to Les Schwab Tires to donate new unwrapped toys.
Is your business ready for the holidays? Now that school's back in session, the shopping season is coming up fast, right, Brad?
Right, you are, Dave. And Wafed Bank is here to help businesses get ready. Whether you're looking to hire holiday staff, beef up your inventory, or start advertising, Wafed Bank can help make it happen with a business credit card, business loan, or line of credit.
Businesses need a lot of different tools to get the job done, and sometimes cash flow can be challenging. How can businesses make sure they're choosing the right option?
Our knowledgeable bankers can help look at individual plans and finances to go over which option might be the best fit. Wafed Bank has the tools and services to get that job done, whatever you might be looking for, including SBA lending options.
You know, there's nothing quite as reassuring as having a professional banker in your corner. Thanks, Brad. To learn more, visit wafedbank.com or visit your local branch. Discover why Wafed Bank was awarded Best Bank by Forbes and Newsweek numerous years in a row. Wafed Bank, built for business. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
It's 7:43, and that makes it time to check traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
Bursting at the seams as we approach our second peak of the morning, approaching 8 a.m. Up in the north end, we're still rolling with about a 20-minute delay on southbound I-5 from Arlington down into Everett. That at 40 minutes after a long-term crash we had at 529 there in Marysville. So not exactly a good drive. And then you've got about an hour and 15-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. And
it's a reminder that, yes, it doesn't get there very often, and only when it really has to.
Haven't played the $15 in the express toll lane in a while because we've had the holiday week, and yesterday was light, but there it is coming down out of Snohomish County from Linwood on 405. Now let's take a look at the I-5 northbound corridor getting through the Nisqually Basin. I just ran the cameras. Haven't found any particular reason other than volume for why we are just bumper to bumper all the way. Once you're past Nisqually, it's a pretty good drive the rest of the way up, but 50 minutes from Olympia to Tacoma is behind schedule. And then Federal Way to Seattle's about an hour and 10, maybe an hour and 15. We've got 40 minutes out of South Center, so very slow those last couple of miles. 509's also jammed up as well. Northbound 167, about an hour and 15-minute trip for you, Puyallup to Renton. Looks like we might have cleared one of the two lanes on northbound 167 approaching 405. Either way, it's really heavy there. And then Renton to Bellevue's rolling at 40 minutes. The Lake Bridges are holding their own. This report brought to you by KIRO Radio's Rundown. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476. Subscribe to get the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. Latest news and updates from your favorite shows right to your inbox.
Our forecast, we're seeing some showers in spots this morning. Otherwise, it's just mostly cloudy for the afternoon hours. 47 the high for today. Tomorrow looks like the dry day of the week, but chilly, only 44 tomorrow. We'll see the rain return on Thursday, and then the showers are here to stay Friday right on through the weekend. Right now, it is partly cloudy and 44 in Seattle.
7:45 now. If you're a woman looking for that next boyfriend, boy, KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gishard has a story for you.
Researchers at Oakland University put together heterosexual men through a battery of tests.
If I was your boyfriend, never let you go.
They found those who show a strong capacity for fluid reasoning, which involves spotting patterns and completing sequences, are less likely to insult their partners, display jealousy, or use guilt or other controlling tactics in a relationship. They also express greater commitment to their relationship. So there you go, ladies. If you're listening, now you just have to find the guy.
So if this is a guy who really likes football and he can anticipate what play is about to come up, he might be a keeper.
Maybe.
That was real committal.
I think just listen to what your partner's saying and then act on that.
I'm glad I'm happily married and don't have to worry about it, frankly.
Me too, Manda.
It's 7:46, and Sully, you have a choke point coming up?
Yes, I do. We're going to take a look at Federal Way and the new light rail expansion that opens up later this week.
And a note here that the Seahawks have just 2 home games left this regular season, and we want you to be there.
KIRO Newsradio is giving away 4 tickets to the Seahawks game December 14th. All you have to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab to find out how, and if you don't have the app, just text app to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link to download.
And you can enter daily to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Monday, December 8th.
Seattle U's men's basketball is hosting some big games at Climate Pledge. Come see teams like UW, Wazoo, and the Zags. First game is December 7th against UTEP. Grab your tickets at goseattleu.com/tickets.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. If your home is bracing for cold drafts, frosty glass, or that one window that just won't open, it might be time for an upgrade. Right now, treat your home with 40% off qualifying installs or 24 months of 0% interest with equal payments. It's the gift your house actually wants, because it definitely didn't ask for another inflatable snowman. With premium products, expert installation, and local service that feels like family, we'll get your home holiday ready. Visit PellaPNW.com today.
Your new home is now ready. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new homes that are ready today. With new construction communities throughout the Puget Sound and Central Washington areas and more coming, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. At D.R. Horton, we're still building with more construction, more communities, and more homes available every day. Find your new home, now ready at drhorton.com. That's drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Paid political announcement.
More than half of short-term rentals across Washington are booked by Washingtonians. Families traveling for their children's tournaments and games. Firefighters fighting wildfires. Traveling nurses providing critical care. Every day, short-term rentals are helping make travel more affordable. Legislators in Olympia are considering increasing taxes on short-term rentals. But with the cost of everything going up, we can't take another price increase. Keep travel affordable for us. Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive host pack.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Solomon.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
8 more miles of light rail tracks will open to the public this weekend when service expands from Angle Lake south to downtown Federal Way.
Sully's back with all the details.
And public transit advocates have been waiting for this for a long time. To put it in perspective, this Federal Way expansion was approved by voters under ST2 in 2008. But then came the housing bubble, the Great Recession, and plans for this extension were postponed and then folded into the new ST3, which was approved by voters in 2016. King County Council member Pete Von Reichbauer, who represents South King County, admits that he wasn't sure this was ever going to happen.
South King County's always felt it's the poor stepchild when it comes to transportation. This is the beginning of being accepted into the full family. Whether we have recreational needs, going to the airport, going to work, going to see friends, this is finally linking South King County with the rest of King County.
The extension was supposed to open in 2024, but Sound Transit ran into some serious soil issues along the route. The trains are supposed to run at grade along I-5, but they ran into some bad soil. There was a landslide, and then the project was delayed as engineers worked for a solution, which eventually ended up being an elevated track through that problem area. You've probably seen it there if you've driven through I-5 the last couple of years to see what they've been doing there. Sound Transit then further delayed the opening until 2026, but then chose to speed it up with the continuing problems getting across the lake on I-90. But somehow CEO Dow Constantine still tries to sell this as ahead of schedule.
The fact that we're able to deliver it early and come in $500 million under budget is especially reassuring. We have a lot of challenges ahead, but we know that with each of these extensions, we're getting better and better at delivering what the people voted for.
Yeah, I'll just leave that out there. As I said earlier, this is like hiring a contractor to fix your kitchen and says it's going to take a month. Then halfway through that month, they say it's going to take 8 months. And then they finish in 7 and say they finished a month early. That's how Sound Transit's math works. Also, when you look at the price tag, it was pitched at $2 to $2.5 billion. It then ballooned during construction to about $3 billion before they were able to dial that back a little bit. So we're right at the top of the original estimates. I'm not sure if most people would consider that under budget. And let's not forget that as a whole, Sound Transit is running tens of billions of dollars over budget with no solid plans on how to fill the gap to fulfill what they promised to voters in 2016. But for all its problems, adding 3 new stations and service to this area is a good thing.
This is going to be a very big deal for our South King County cities, all the people who work or play in other parts of the region.
Now, of course, light rail riders will have to wait at least another decade before the line to the Tacoma Dome opens up. That was also approved in 2016. It's still in the planning phases, service scheduled to start in 2035. We still haven't figured out how to get over to West Seattle, haven't figured out how to get to Ballard, haven't figured out how we're going to get to Everett yet. As for light rail over Lake Washington, test trains are supposed to start going across the floating bridge soon. Service from Seattle to Bellevue was supposed to start in the middle of 2023. But Sound Transit had to rip up the original tracks because of flaws in the supports. It's supposed to start service sometime early next year, which would put it almost 3 years behind schedule.
Now, as somebody who lived off 272nd Street, where the Star Lake station is about to open up here in the year of our Lord 2025. It was back in 2008 that it was approved in Sound Transit 2.
Correct.
And that was something promised to us in Sound Transit 2.
Correct.
This is now Sound Transit 3, 17 years later. I can tell you that residents down there who approved this 17 years ago kind of frustrated.
Yeah, well, and again, there was a reason why it happened. Let's not forget, we had the housing bubble and then the Great Recession, and at that point, and that came right after 2008, after that vote, and so they decided at the time to postpone it and fold it back in later, which again is not any solace. I know, which required another vote. Again, doesn't provide much solace to the people in Federal Way who've been waiting, as you said, for 17 years for this. I live up in the Everett area. I don't have a plan of maybe getting light rail to Everett until 2041. And that was also voted for in 2016. So, Sound Transit does not have a very good record of being on time and in budget. That's just been their history starting in 1996.
Well, at least maybe now things will start to turn around.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, the big thing will be getting it across the lake and see if that happens. They're still saying that's going to happen, but we'll wait and see how those test trains go.
Hope springs eternal.
That's right. That's what we're known for.
Hope.
Here with Chris Sullivan, who not only
I'm full of hope.
Follows it on mynorthwest.com. The full write-up is there, but you're also following traffic on the 3s.
Yes, I am, and we're looking at about a 20-minute delay still on southbound I-5 as we work our way through Marysville. Long-term crash we had near 529. We've got about a 40-minute trip still to get you down into Everett. Then a pretty decent freeway speed drive till you get to about the Boeing Freeway. Then it loosens up again, and then whammo, you hit it right there at Linwood. Hour drive from Linwood to Seattle or Bellevue. That puts us at about an hour and 20 all the way from Everett, so not pretty. Northbound 167 is starting to get a little bit better at the north end. We had a crash that was blocking 2 lanes as you approach 167, but we're still about a half an hour out of Auburn and over an hour from Puyallup to Renton with the brake lights really heavy past 24th. Right lane remains blocked there, and then we have the lane restrictions in Pacific. Northbound I-5 struggling through Olympia. Got about a 50-minute trip. Actually, it's from Lacey up through Nisqually, and then after that, not too bad. Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour and 15, kind of a normal day for you guys, really heavy at the north end. Lake bridges, though, are hanging in there. There is some westbound slowing off of Mercer Island and a little bit of westbound slowing in Montlake, but over in that, not too bad. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, some showers in areas for this morning. We're headed for a high of 47. Should be dry in the afternoon. And then tomorrow will be dry but chilly, only 44 tomorrow. Rain returns on Thursday. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 44.
Well, we heard Leland Vitters look at the big national stories of the week. Stand by, because coming up, we'll have New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold. He will join the show at 8:15 here on Seattle's Morning News.
If your closets are bursting at the seams like the Curley household, it's time to call the pros at Closets by Design Seattle. Every job is completely custom. Free in-home design consultation. Right now, they're offering big savings up to 40% off, plus an additional 15% off with 18 months financing and free installation. You're getting the quality and backing of a national brand, but with friendly local Seattle service. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule your free in-home design consultation today.
Your local credit union, WSECU, believes in making a difference. That's why they're recognizing Washington's community champions, everyday people who strengthen the fabric of our communities. Steve Rabel here with WSECU board member Marcus Glasper, and it's time to announce our next community champion.
Our community champion this week is Sean Tibbetts. Sean is a Tacoma restaurant owner who sets aside time to cook meals for families in need, free of charge. This holiday season, he'll feed more than 500 people. Thank you, Sean, for keeping your neighbors nourished.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news.
A minimum wage increase proposal is moving forward in unincorporated King County.
KIRO News Radio.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. All your devices working in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger. But your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply.
Christmas starts at the Victorian Christmas Festival, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, December 4th through 7th at the Washington State Fair Events Center. Buy tickets at victorianchristmasfestival.com.
John Curley here. When your house feels colder than it should, comfort matters. For heating, plumbing, or electrical, call the comfort people at Home Comfort Alliance or visit homecomfortalliance.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A powerful winter storm is ripping across the country from the Midwest to New England. CBS meteorologist Rob Marciano is monitoring from the New York City suburbs.
Very expansive storm, but look at this thing. All the way down to Georgia where the heavy rain is falling there along near Roanoke and along the spine of Appalachia, and that's where we see some slick road reports as well. Winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings up for parts of the Catskills, upstate New York, and northern parts of New England. That's an area that's going to see the most amount of snow.
The president's special envoys, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, are in Russia for a meeting with Vladimir Putin on a peace plan for Ukraine. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has been shoring up support from European countries. He spoke from Ireland.
We are waiting for the results in America-Russia negotiations, today's results, and I will react according to the results.
President Trump has called a cabinet meeting after the administration admitted to 2 military strikes on a suspected drug boat in the Caribbean. Correspondent Nancy Cordes from the White House.
Lawmakers openly asking whether this was a war crime. Now, just days ago, the Secretary of Defense called this story fabricated. He said it was inflammatory. But then yesterday, the White House confirmed the military did make a second strike on a suspected Venezuelan drug boat in September.
Former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was serving a 45-year sentence for drug trafficking, has been released from prison in West Virginia after President Trump said he would issue a pardon. Hernandez was convicted in a U.S. court of running a narco state. Things to keep in mind with Medicare's open enrollment deadline coming up Sunday. The Trump administration's point man, Dr. Mehmet Oz, tells CBS News Radio.
This year, the medication prices actually dropped. The premium to enjoy Medicare Part D. Medicare Advantage got less expensive, but other parts of the program got more expensive. So you want to customize to yourself based on where your doctor practices, what plans they're in, what medications you're on, what's the best way to save money.
You can check your options at Medicare.gov. A first-of-its-kind lawsuit from the city of San Francisco over unhealthy food. CBS's Michael Wallace.
City Attorney David Chu tells the New York Times the lawsuit he's filing today will name 10 corporations. He says Doritos, Slim Jim meat sticks, and many other ultra-processed foods are causing diseases that are burdening local governments with public health costs. He also accuses the companies of unfair and deceptive acts in how they market their foods. Chu's suit on behalf of the state of California will seek unspecified damages.
The Dow is up 239 points. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
It's 8:03, and we check traffic on the 3s with Chris Sullivan.
And I think if you've forgotten what it looked like traveling on our roads the last week through the Thanksgiving holiday, you're getting a stark reminder today. It is really heavy across the board, especially coming down from the north end, where we had an earlier crash on southbound I-5 right at 529 in Marysville, and we're backed up well before the outlet mall now. It's still a 20-minute delay, Arlington to Everett at 40 minutes. But you get a good freeway speed drive to about 164th, the Mill Creek exit after that. But boy, from there on down, it's not pretty. About an hour from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue, hour and 20 all the way from Everett. So not a good day for you guys. Northbound 167 continues to struggle through Pacific through the lane restrictions. And we've also had a crash right near 24th coming up out of the Sumner area as well. Hour and 15-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton, though it is getting better at the north end. Renton to Bellevue at about 40 minutes with brake lights in the usual places. Over the top of I-90 into downtown Bellevue, it isn't bad. Lake bridges are manageable. I mean, you're going to need about 25 minutes on either one to go westbound. Northbound I-5, not as bad through Federal Way as it could be, but pretty heavy at the north end. We've got about an hour and 10-minute trip there. 40-plus minutes away from South Center. West Seattle Bridge is also pretty heavy getting over to I-5. We are finally clearing out in Nisqually. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service. 98 years servicing quality uniforms, floor mats, and more. Call Superior Linen Service. They answer the phone or visit suplinen.com.
Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
Another major retailer is suing the Trump administration. Costco says the tariffs it paid were improper. It wants the money back immediately.
This is the latest in a wave of company pushing their cases ahead of a Supreme Court decision. And joining us live with the story, here's KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey.
Yeah, Charlie, Costco wants its money back so badly, they're not waiting around for the U.S. Supreme Court to weigh in on this. On November 5th, SCOTUS heard oral arguments on this issue after a U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled Trump cannot invoke the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to impose tariffs. No word, though, on when the Supreme Court will release its opinion. Again, Costco not waiting around, but the lawsuit doesn't say how much money Costco wants back. Unless Costco files a claim now, they say it says the Supreme Court ruling alone doesn't guarantee they could recoup anything. So that's kind of why they're filing when they did, and they did so on Friday, just a day after Thanksgiving. All right, so will Costco actually get their money back? Well, let's get into some nerdy legalese here. The White House might argue instead of suing, Costco shouldn't have and can't because it has an adequate remedy at their disposal. Costco can just simply file a protest to delay the final tariff calculation on its imports. It's called delaying liquidation in this case. However, Costco is trying to cut that argument off at the pass. They claim U.S. Customs and Border Protection denied its request to pause the process, and Costco also argues not all liquidations can even be challenged through a protest. So they're going to court. There are about a dozen other companies who have filed similar lawsuits, Charlie and Manda, and while we don't know how much money that they've paid in tariffs, it's obvious that Costco, it's enough to outweigh the cost of, you can imagine big-time attorneys, going to court, all those legal costs. No comment from Costco so far. The White House has responded saying, this is going to be a huge economic mess if they have to pay. It could be upwards of hundreds of millions of dollars back to these companies.
Okay, well, keep us posted. 8:06 now. Seattle police are investigating yesterday's fatal shooting at a hookah lounge.
We get more on this from KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch.
SPD investigators are still trying to figure out what happened at this hookah lounge near Rainier Avenue South and South King Street. It happened just before 8 o'clock. SPD Detective Eric Munoz says it started with an altercation inside the lounge.
Shortly after that altercation, the suspect fired multiple rounds into the area of the hookah lounge from just outside, and one of those bullets did, in fact, strike our victim.
Anyone with information about this shooting should call 911. In the CID, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The State Patrol Bomb Squad was called in after someone reported a case full of grenades in Kitsap County.
Here's KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss with the story.
2 homeowners were staying at a different house while their home was under construction and found 10 live grenades along with blasting caps and other explosive devices in the backyard. The explosives team managed to safely secure the explosives. Now investigators are trying to figure out how they got there.
For over 50 years, this is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, it's 8:08. Thanks for joining us on the show this morning. I'm Charlie Harger alongside Manda Factor.
Chris Sullivan is here checking traffic on the 3s, and producer David Burbank in the studio with us.
And, of course, Katrina is out at the news desk, and Brady Robick filling in for Nick Krasha at the control room board today, running the board and also picking the music.
It's chilly. I grabbed like the big puffer coat and a scarf today.
Yeah, and I really scurried inside when I was out in the parking lot. Sometimes I linger. Not this morning.
You linger in the parking lot? Well, that's kind of creepy.
In my car, not like in the parking lot.
I often ask Charlie, did you have to let it linger?
Oh, my goodness.
Did you have to?
I got it. Coming up on this hour of the show, our weekly chat with New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold. He's going to weigh in on the latest national stories.
We're also speaking to a filmmaker looking at the economic and emotional impact of America's military might. Ilan Bentov is the director of The True Cost of Defense. We will chat with him.
And G. Scott is going to stop by to talk about CEO salaries. Wonder what G will have to say about that.
8:09 on Seattle's Morning News. International student enrollment is at an 8-year low at the University of Washington.
In the fall of 2025 quarter, 7,439 students were enrolled at UW's Seattle campus with international visas, according to the Times. That's 7% fewer than a year ago and nearly 10% less than in 2022, when the international student population was at its peak. Now, this year's drop was actually smaller than what the university was expecting, given President Trump's crackdown on immigration and higher education. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Oh, a big surprise for some students at the University of Washington. They learned yesterday their senior year tuition is covered. The dean of the School of Medicine announced an anonymous donor has given more than $50 million. That'll pay for clinical rotations for decades. Each student saves up to $10,000. The program will also add more spots to fight a shortage of lab scientists.
Lake Tapps residents are voicing concern after several dead birds, including swans and a goose, were pulled from the water there. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife believes avian flu may be to blame, but the birds were not tested. The DFW's Dr. Katie Heyman spoke to KIRO 7 TV.
We're monitoring the situation. So if there's 10 to 15 sick or dead birds within a short period of time, then we will test to confirm that it is in fact avian influenza, at least at the beginning of that outbreak. Unfortunately, we don't have the capacity to test every single sick or dead wild bird on our landscape.
Neighbors say they're worried about the risk of pets and nearby livestock as waterfowl often visit local farms. Officials urge people to report sick or dead birds.
Holiday cheer in Centralia has been dimmed after vandals caused more than $20,000 in damage to a beloved Christmas light display. Police tell KIRO 7 TV the destruction happened at Borst Park last Tuesday, where the annual drive-through show draws families from all across the region. Organizers found wires cut, decorations smashed, and displays ruined. Despite the setback, volunteers are working to fix what they can.
It appears researchers are closer to a possible cure for HIV. According to the Seattle Times, there are 2 studies out this week which include work by local scientists. One study looked at combination immunotherapy, which appears to put patients in long-term remission without having to take medication. The other looks at a possible cure using a stem cell transplant in an HIV patient with cancer.
A Seattle Mariners legend could be getting a call to join the Hall of Fame, as we hear from KIRO 7 TV's Eric Thomas.
Felix Hernandez, playing his entire 15-year career in Seattle, made his debut back in 2005 at just 19 years old, and what a stellar tenure he put together during his time, amassing more than 2,000 strikeouts, racking up more than 2,700 innings pitched. He's a 6-time All-Star, a Cy Young Award winner, and let's not forget his perfect game against the Tampa Bay Rays back in 2012. Now, we'll find out if he made the cut for Cooperstown on January 20th, but he is still eligible for the next decade if he doesn't make it this year.
I am a yay for the king.
Yeah. And a lot of times you don't make it in that first round, but he's got 9 other tries at it as well. So yep. I think the odds are good.
It's 8:12, and that's time for a check on the weather. It's brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We're going to see some showers around this morning, but just cloudy for the afternoon. Should dry out. Our high today, 47. Overnight low, 37. Tomorrow looks like a dry day. Some peaks of sunshine, but staying mostly cloudy. Only 44 tomorrow. And then the rain is back on Thursday. Just rain at times. 47 showers Friday through the weekend. Right now, partly cloudy and 44 in Seattle.
8:13, let's go to Chris Sullivan for traffic on the 3s.
And we're trying to get better out there. It's just going to take some time, especially up in the north end where we had that long-term crash on southbound I-5 through the 529 corridor there in Marysville. It is bumper to bumper past Tulalip and still rolling at about 15 to 18 minutes behind schedule. But we're back under 40 minutes from Arlington to Everett, which I know is terrible. But if you have a chance, you can look over to the right-hand side and see all the wonderful lights at Tulalip, because at least you can be entertained and feel some joy as you're sucking the exhaust for the person in front of you, because it's not pretty and it hasn't been all morning. And then you have about an hour and 10-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. We're trying to get better there too. I think we picked up about 5 minutes just in the last little bit. Valley Freeway also trending in the right direction, back under 25 minutes out of Auburn, and about an hour and 5 all the way from Puyallup, maybe a little more, as we're still struggling through Pacific, and we still have the remnants of this crash near 24th over on the right-hand shoulder. Then Renton to Bellevue's about 42 minutes, so not terrible. I-5, we're looking at bumper to bumper, definitely from the beginnings of Boeing Field on up. Give yourself about 40 minutes out of South Center, and an hour and 10 all the way, which isn't out of line. Still have the right lane blocked over the top of the Tiger Mountain Summit on eastbound 18. Conked out semi there is the one to blame. Olympia to Tacoma still struggling through Lacey, but we picked up a couple of minutes. It's about 45 minutes now to get you up into Tacoma. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Right now, buy one, get one 50% off at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus 12 months, 0% interest financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
It's 8:14. I know you've been waiting for this. The 2025 Pop-Tarts Bowl mascots have been announced. And KIRO News Radio's Katrina Kashard is here with the scoop.
Teams from the Atlantic Coast Conference and the Big 12 Conference will battle under the Florida sun, but that's not the only competition. 6 tasty mascots are headed to college football's Pop-Tarts Bowl. The mascots will battle to be eaten by the winning team. Here's a clip from last year.
There it comes. Giant cinnamon roll coming out. Thank you all for the 2024 Pop-Tarts Bowl champions, Iowa State Cyclones. Congratulations again.
Representing Team Sprinkles are cherry, cookies and cream, and protein slam and strawberry. And on Team Swirls, chocolate chip cookie dough, hot fudge sundae, and wild berry. The event kicks off Saturday, December 27th.
Agnes, come quick to the TV. It's hot fudge sundae and wild berry. They're playing for the championship.
And they're going to get eaten.
Have you ever seen this? It's awesome. They have live mascots. Okay, and whichever one is the winner goes up onto the toaster.
Yeah.
And then out comes an actual cake Pop-Tart thing that then the players then consume.
It's truly really morbid and hilarious.
Awesome.
When did they start putting protein in Pop-Tarts? That's all the rage right now. Protein this,
thing.
protein that.
Agnes is my health food Pop-Tart.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Katrina. It's 8:16.
Every Tuesday, we call up New York Times investigative reporter David Fahrenthold.
David, good morning. Let's start with the intensifying backlash surrounding the Trump administration's deadly strikes on alleged drug boats in the Caribbean. We asked our military expert, Jeff McCausland, about this yesterday. We'd love to gauge your thoughts. What does it appear Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth actually did here?
Well, what the reporting has been is that the very first strike on a boat in the Caribbean Sea back in September, that there was an original strike, which we've all seen, on a boat that had a bunch of people on it that the Department of Defense believed was a drug smuggling boat. But then afterward, there were survivors. There were people, clinging to the boat in the water, clinging to the wreckage of the boat. And this is a case that, no matter what the battlefield, once people are defenseless, in this case, people sort of hanging onto the wreckage of a boat, they pose no physical threat to anyone. They're not smuggling drugs anymore. They're just trying to survive. What you do in that situation is you rescue them, and that's happened in World War II. We rescued the people who were sailors from downed ships. But in this case, what Pete Hegseth said was to shoot them again, to blow them up again, and make sure there were no survivors. And that appears to violate the laws of war. And there's been a lot of calls in Congress from Republicans and Democrats to investigate that more, because that is a clear step beyond what's allowed, even under the very expanded guidelines Trump is operating under in the Caribbean.
Does it appear they are going to start singling out the admiral who was in charge of this operation?
Well, and that is the risk that's created for everybody here, is that as a member of the military, you have to follow orders, but you only have to follow lawful orders. You can't follow unlawful orders. And if Pete Hegseth, in this case, gave an unlawful order, people weren't supposed to follow it. So, yes, that will be the sort of effort here, is to try to figure out the chain of command. Was it Hegseth to an admiral, to somebody, operating a drone, or was it Hegseth directly to the drone operator? Who gave that order and who transmitted the order?
I want to switch gears and talk about Alina Habba. A federal appeals court has ruled that President Trump's former personal attorney is serving unlawfully as the U.S. attorney for New Jersey. Can you break this down for us?
Yeah, the president has the power to appoint U.S. attorneys. Those are the federal prosecutors in different regions. But there are limits on that power. One of them is that the president's picks have to be confirmed by the Senate. And typically that means that the senators from that state have to consent. It doesn't mean that if it's a Democratic senator, it has to be a Democrat that gets appointed, but it has to be a pick that is, amenable to the senators in this case, in that state. In this case, Trump's personal attorney, Alina Habba, does not have a lot of experience as a prosecutor, clearly extremely loyal to him personally. He was paying her bills until recently. And the two senators from New Jersey, the two Democratic senators from New Jersey, said they didn't want her. They were not interested in her. And so Trump has been trying to get around that by trying various legal maneuvers to install her as a temporary U.S. attorney. And there are limits to that. And that's what the court said in this case. The folks that have been charged with crimes by her have said, she's not legally appointed. She shouldn't be holding this job. She doesn't have the legal power to do what she's doing. And this is the second case. First, the trial court, now an appeals court, agreed and said that she doesn't have the right to do this. What the president should do is nominate somebody that can get confirmed by the Senate, but he seems determined to keep this particular person in there, so I think they're going to go to the Supreme Court.
A pattern we noticed from the president is he tends to hire people he knows from either private or business dealings, not necessarily other candidates that you might have under other administrations. Has the president really given a reason why he gives this approach?
I mean, nothing that's not very vague. And it's a difference even from Trump's first term. From Trump's first term, remember, the FBI director was somebody who was an established, well-respected Republican prosecutor. A lot of the U.S. attorneys in these places are people who had served as prosecutors before. They weren't just Trump's cronies or, personal lawyers. And that's changed in this administration. They're all, or most of them, are cronies or people that have done personal work for the president. And I think this is the downside of that plan. He is obviously assured of their loyalty, but can't be assured either of their legality or their competence. And I think you've seen that come back to bite him, both in this case and in the prosecutions of Jim Comey and Letitia James, where Trump's handpicked personal attorney screwed up the case and now has gotten those cases thrown out.
David, I want to ask you about the story you did last week about the president's disclosure of the individual donors who helped pay for his transition. What did you find?
Well, the President's Transition, which is an official organization, a nonprofit that sort of houses the administration in waiting from the election to the inauguration, they had said last year that they were going to release their donors, the people who paid for their operations for those 3 months. And they said they would do it, right away, and they haven't. They didn't, and they didn't, and they didn't, and they finally gave it up the day before Thanksgiving last week. So what we learned from that is a lot of the donors, we don't know who gave how much. We do know the names of some donors. Many of them are people who have been Trump donors for a long time, people like Howard Lutnick, Linda McMahon, people who are members of the cabinet now, and also some of Trump's longtime backers. So there was nobody really surprising on there, but I'd say two things. One, we don't know if it's the full list. There was nothing legally that stopped foreign governments or anybody from giving to this transition or nonprofit, and we don't know if we've seen the full list. And two, it shouldn't take them a year. When in most administrations, they release it within weeks or months.
What did they have to gain from these? Was these donations? Was this purely altruistic?
No. I mean, maybe for some people it was altruistic, but for a lot of these folks, they were people who were hoping to get cabinet positions and later did get cabinet positions. Some of the folks were lobbyists, people that are going to be asking the Trump administration for help for their clients. So these are people who wanted something from Trump. Policy-wise or personally as some sort of job, and in some cases got it. So, we're in a presidency this transactional where donations are sort of explicitly said to get you something. I don't think you can look at these donations and say, well, this was people giving out of the goodness of their heart.
Is this typical of other administrations too?
It's not. In most cases, the law says that you can get federal money for your transition, to add on to whatever you raise from private sources. But if you take federal money, you have to disclose who your donors are. You have to cap donations at $5,000. And you also have to agree not to take foreign donations. And most presidents have done that, which means they got some taxpayer money, but also they disclosed right away. Trump didn't. And so that meant that he didn't legally have to disclose at all. He didn't have to say anything about his donors, but his folks said back then that they would do it. It just took them a year.
All right. The article is up at the New York Times, NewYorkTimes.com. David Farenthold, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
It's now 8:23. That's time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. So what do you have for us, Sully?
Yeah, I told everybody it was getting lighter out there. We just added a new crash into the mix, and not in a very good spot. It's on southbound I-5 just south of 128th in South Everett. Looks to be partially blocking the HOV lane, and that's added a little bit more braking to what was already a pretty rough drive of about an hour and 15 minutes from Everett into Seattle or Everett to Bellevue, with 50 of those minutes away from Linwood. So pretty slow there. We're trying to get better through Tulalip. The backup is now farther north out of Arlington, and then kind of freeze up right as you get past Tulalip. But overall, about 32 minutes now to get you down into Everett. So behind schedule by about 10 or 15. So we're getting better there, but we've added another crash there on that drive. Northbound 405 struggling through the S-curves mightily today, up to about 44th, and then some more over I-90. Give yourself about 42, 43 minutes to get up to Bellevue. Behind that, there is significant spillover on northbound 167, but it's not bad out of Auburn, and it looks like we finally cleared the crash entirely on northbound 167 at 24th coming out of Sumner. Overall, it's still about an hour and 5-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton. Most of Pierce County, though, is clearing out nicely. Still have some slowing to deal with in Nisqually on northbound I-5, 42 minutes up to Tacoma. Then Federal Way to Seattle is running at about an hour and 15 minutes, with 45 of those minutes from South Center. 509 also jammed up from 128th heading northbound towards the First Avenue South Bridge. Lake bridges are hanging in there. Got about a 25-minute trip for either one going from Bellevue to Seattle. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app and stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
Amanda, you know how when you go to a Mariners game, when it starts off, they always have a kid down there yelling, "Play ball"?
Yes.
So check this out. We have the Holiday Magic
starting next week.
Fundraiser coming up next week on the 8th. Actually, the 10th will be the big day of giving, but you will be able to bid on this, where you can have your kid say "play ball" before the first pitch. You also get like 4 tickets to the game. It's like on the main level. That's one of the cool prizes. We also have Tom Hutler. He will do your Little League lineup in the big Mariners voice.
So cool.
Yeah, so that is coming up with the mynorthwest.com. You can find out more about Holiday Magic. You can go to mynorthwest.com/Holiday Magic. That's what I was looking for.
Go.
And you can text Magic to 888-973-5476.
And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has a roundup of several vehicular crimes in Pierce County over the weekend.
This is Seattle's Morning News.
The Hawks get it done at home.
They do it in style with a 26-0 shellacking.
Improving to 9-3, staying with the small pack of teams atop the NFC.
It's intercepted, and this one goes to the house. Jones with a pick six.
Complete coverage at mynorthwest.com.
That was big for our defense. I feel like it's another level that we can reach. We're just worried about playing our style of ball, playing for each other.
And the station where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
that's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchy's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member, you get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchy's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchy.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Looking for high-quality assisted living that won't drain your life savings? At Care Partners Living, we offer compassionate care at a price that helps stretch and preserve your estate. No unnecessary luxury, just the support you need with dignity and heart. And if you ever need to convert to Medicaid, you don't have to move. With communities across Washington and Arizona, including new locations in Port Orchard, Sumner, Mercer Island, and North Creek Bothell, there's a Care Partners community near you. Care Partners Living, compassionate care and peace of mind. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
This Christmas, skip the toys and gift cards. Instead, give a chicken. Yep, a chicken. School supplies, meals, and more. How? At the Light the World Giving Machine. It's a chance to help those in need, both locally and around the world. 100% of your donation goes to the item and charity you select with a simple push of a vending machine button. Visit the Light the World Giving Machine today at the Alderwood Mall near the Lego Store and the South Hill Mall near Dick's Sporting Goods. Go to givingmachinewa.org.
Let's light the world. You know us. We're the heating and air conditioning company with the big colorful logo and the recognizable trucks you see all over Western Washington. You know us as the company that believes in the good we're doing and the impact home comfort has on your personal happiness. In its third generation, our family-owned business has been improving the lives of our customers every day since 1957. Call the experts in installation, service, and repair. Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Your family's comfort is our family's business.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Searching the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 8:31. Pierce County deputies had a busy weekend. Investigators say a 21-year-old is in jail after stealing a Corvette, leading deputies on a chase and posting videos of himself doing donuts in the car.
And in a separate tragic case, a 69-year-old woman was killed by a driver who is now suspected of DUI.
We get more on both these stories live from KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey.
You're going to hear in a second from body cam footage from both incidents, but we're going to start with that deadly crash and alleged DUI. It happened in the 9,000 block of Golden Given Road East over the weekend. Here's Deputy Carly Capetto. You're going to hear her speaking over body cam footage, and then you're going to hear from deputies at the scene talking with the suspect who appeared to be pinned behind the wheel of his vehicle, airbags deployed.
A 69-year-old woman was coming home from work and backing into her own driveway when she was T-boned by a 27-year-old male driver.
Hello, sir. Are you alone in this car, sir? Yeah. Okay.
Deputies say the female victim died at the scene. The suspect was booked into the Pierce County Jail on suspicion of vehicular homicide and DUI. In the other story, just after midnight Saturday morning, deputies say they spotted a Corvette doing donuts at the intersection of 112th Street South and Pacific Avenue. They chased that Corvette. You can hear the suspect in that chase then hit the gas and take off.
Eastbound 94 is headed towards Mac. So if you could advise Tacoma, he's clearly trying to elude us.
There it goes. Corvette got away. A little later, their deputies spotted, they say, that same Corvette in a driveway in a neighborhood. They questioned a 21-year-old who came outside, and then they handcuffed him.
We're going to actually put you in the handcuffs right now. We're detaining you. We'll explain it all here in a minute.
And then the big reveal. Deputies say they looked at the suspect's social media account, and they claim they found this. That's a video that we're going to put up on My Northwest. I've already got up on social as well of that Corvette and another car allegedly doing donuts. It appears they are. That 21-year-old was arrested on suspicion of eluding, possession of a stolen vehicle, and obstruction of law enforcement.
Luke, thanks for that update. 8:33 now, time to check traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
And we haven't quite put to bed this rough commute on this Tuesday morning. Still working with this new crash on southbound I-5 right at 128th at South Everett. It's over on the far left side now, not really blocking the HOV lane, but that's why you're slow from about 112th, working your way down from the Everett Mall. It's a pretty good drive to Linwood from there on down, but you got about an hour and 5 minutes total from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue, with about 50 of those minutes from from Linwood on down. We are definitely getting better through Marysville. The brake lights now are just kind of centered getting into the 529 corridor where we had that earlier crash. 30 minutes to make the trip from Arlington into Everett is about 13 to 14 minutes behind schedule. So definitely an improvement there. Northbound 167 struggling through Pacific through the lane restrictions, but then not bad out of Auburn. Overall, about an hour drive from Puyallup up to Renton. Then Renton to Bellevue is about 40, maybe a little more. Definitely seeing some brake lights northbound past Coal Creek Parkway into downtown Bellevue. Lake Bridges, westbound across I-90, a little slowing on Mercer Island, a little bit towards I-5. You're going to need about 26 minutes from Bellevue to Seattle on I-90, about 20 on 520. The drive on I-5 northbound from Federal Way to Seattle is rolling at about an hour and 5 minutes. 45 of those minutes are from South Center, so that tells you that it's really not too bad from Federal Way on up. And the last little bit to talk about is on northbound 5 as you work your way through Lacey, through Nisqually. Earlier, just volume there, and we've got about 42 minutes up into Tacoma. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. Prepare to be enchanted. The mentalists and illusionists, the clairvoyants, come to the Emerald Queen Casino December 4th for a holiday spectacular. The clairvoyants, December 4th, only at the Emerald Queen Casino.
Our forecast has seen some showers here and there this morning, but will dry out by afternoon. Just mostly cloudy for today. 47 the high. Tomorrow it's going to be chilly, only 44. Should be a dry day, and then the rain at times on Thursday returns. 47 Friday through the weekend. We'll see showers with highs back into the low 50s. Right now, mostly cloudy and 45 in Seattle.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
8:36 now. What is the true cost of American military might?
That is the question being explored in a new documentary titled The True Cost of Defense. It's available on YouTube through American Public Television.
We're joined now by director Elon Bentoff. Good morning, Elon. Explain what this film is about and what its purpose is.
Sure. Good morning. We started this project after looking at big pie chart of the defense budget. You see this big pie with a lot of slices, over $800 billion in total. And we were curious kind of what went into all those slices. And moreover, we were wondering what other pies, so to speak, went into operating, maintaining the military, things like Veterans Affairs budgets and some other peripheral costs. And when you take it all into account, the number gets much bigger. It approaches more like $1.5 trillion. So that was quite striking. But what we ended up discovering and really zeroing in on was more the human cost of the military. How much money is spent to recruit and train and house and maintain and eventually pay for pensions and retirement for all the folks that make the military operate.
What do you hope people get out of this film?
I suppose I would hope that people would look at the cost of the military, not just in terms of fighter jets and aircraft carriers and those sort of big ticket items, and look into a little bit more how much the people cost. Because if there is to be a change one way or the other when it comes to the defense budget, a lot of it has to do with how people are recruited and compensated. And that's really the biggest takeaway is looking more at the cost of the people in the military.
I'm sure you had a chance to speak with a lot of people. What's one of the more memorable people you spoke to for this film?
Sure. Well, I think there's maybe two answers to that when it comes to memorable experiences. I think that on one end of the spectrum, we spent some time with Travis Mills, who's a quadruple amputee. And it really brings into focus how much people can lose and sacrifice while they're serving in the military, and then how expensive it is for them to receive the care that they require after the fact. And I think when you look at the cost of your average person in the military, those potential expenses are usually not considered, and they're large. And then the other striking thing was, we spent some time on an aircraft carrier and over in Poland with some tank crews, some U.S. tank crews. The other striking thing was just how young a lot of the people in the military are. That so much of this giant hundreds of billions of dollar machine so much of it is operated by very young people, and it's impressive. They do a good job. But as a lot of them point out, they're going to leave the military after this investment by taxpayers with technical skills and access to college education. And that makes a big difference for the nation as well. The U.S. is paying for young people at great risk to get technical skills, get an education, and that is good for the country, I'd say.
We're just about out of time, but are you hoping to prompt change here? And if so, what specifically? We did not enter into this project with the hope of prompting change one way or the other. Our hope was to inform the public more about what these giant numbers consist of, so that they can be better prepared to enact whatever change they may be after.
Director Elon Bentov, the film is called The True Cost of Defense. It's available on YouTube through American Public Television. Elon, thank you for your time this morning. Best of luck on this.
Thanks very much.
You bet. Take care. 8:40 now. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
We're going to take a look at the northbound slowing on 167 as we work our way out of Puyallup. We'll break it down for you next.
Why is K2 Vision RLE a permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers? How is it that you'll never develop a cataract after K2 Vision RLE? And how is RLE different from LASIK?
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. We'll answer those questions and others when you join us for our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Andy, what are some of the other questions you hear?
Well, how long is the procedure and recovery? Or who's a good candidate for RLE?
And we'll also answer, how much does RLE cost? Is there financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE?
Find out how K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers.
And cataracts too.
Right, no more cataracts.
K2 Vision's free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Space will be limited, so register now at k2visionrle.com.
Join us at our free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Sign up at k2visionrle.com.
Paid political announcement.
More than half of short-term rentals across Washington are booked by Washingtonians. Families traveling for their children's tournaments and games. Firefighters fighting wildfires. Traveling nurses providing critical care. Every day, short-term rentals are helping make travel more affordable. Legislators in Olympia are considering increasing taxes on short-term rentals. But with the cost of everything going up, we can't take another price increase. Keep travel affordable for us. Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive host pack.
If your closets are bursting at the seams like the Curly household, it's time to call the pros at Closets by Design Seattle. Every job is completely custom. Free in-home design consultation. Right now, they're offering big savings up to 40% off, plus an additional 15% off with 18 months financing and free installation. You're getting the quality and backing of a national brand, but with friendly local Seattle service. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule your free in-home design consultation today.
It's 8:43. Let's check traffic with Chris Sullivan.
Well, it turns out, if my little eye spies properly, the several state troopers working southbound I-5 in the Everett area. I thought it was a crash near 128th. I'm guessing it's an HOV emphasis.
Breaker, we got a Smoky.
Yeah, got on back to Pig Pen. This here's Rubber Duck. Wow, you want to go back to the Convoy song? Wow, that's how
Not right now.
That dated me. Wow. But either way, we've got a couple of different people pulled over there south of 526, so just be prepared. We got a little emphasis, is my assumption, going on, because the cars don't seem damaged at all. Then you get through that, and you've got a relatively normal drive away from Linwood, still about an hour and 15-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. In through the Marysville area, still struggling right through Tulalip, but that's about it. That's all that's left of the brake lights we had of a pretty heavy morning there, 25 minutes from Arlington down into Everett. The Federal Way to Seattle drive's not too bad. I mean, through Federal Way, it's off and on braking through the Kent Des Moines Road to 188th, and then about 42 minutes to go from South Center on up. So it's about an hour and 5 total. Valley Freeway, still about an hour overall. We have braking through Pacific, and then at the north end, and then Renton to Bellevue's running a little over 40 minutes. Not only heavy through the S-curves, but also there as you work your way through Coal Creek Parkway into South Bellevue. Across the lake, little westbound slowing, but 25 minutes is not too bad to get across. And we're looking at still seeing some slowing atop the Tiger Mountain Summit on eastbound 18. We had a stalled semi there that's been blocking a lane for most of the morning. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Right now, buy one, get one 50% off at Lake Washington Windows and Doors, plus 12 months of zero-interest financing. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
And our forecast, you might get a little wet this morning. We are seeing some showers in spots. Otherwise, just a cloudy afternoon. 47 the high for today. Overnight low around 37. Tomorrow looks like the dry day of the week. It will be mostly cloudy, but 44. Some peaks of sunshine. And then Thursday, the rain returns. Right now, cloudy and 45 in Seattle.
8:45 now. Time for another genius cash grab from Taylor Swift. I don't know how she keeps doing this, and she's going to make zillions. She's dropped a new trailer for the Eras Tour concert movie. Yet another one. Here's Katrina Gashard.
Yet another one, but this is different from the movie she released in theaters. This was captured during the tour's final concert and features the Tortured Poets Department set for the first time. Take a listen to this.
We've had so long to prepare for the end of this tour, and we get to play one last show for you here tonight.
Charlie is not having it,
guys.
guys.
This is exciting.
Taylor Swift Eras Tour. The final show starts streaming next Friday, and it's the same day she releases her behind-the-scenes docu-series, which is about life on the tour. Two separate things, people.
It's not going to be the final show. There will be another one.
Hear me out.
I'm with Charlie on this.
How about we have a behind the scenes of Seattle's morning news every day that we charge people for?
Good idea.
Then we also charge people, and this is going to be the controversial one, for the recording of us on the YouTube where we're talking behind the scenes during commercials and stuff like that. That could be like an extra charge. What do you think, Katrina?
Let's talk to our appetizers first.
Okay. We have Seattle's morning news, and coming up, G. Scott is going to be the Tasmanian devil with us. Of course, he's going to talk about the CEOs of big companies and how much they should be making here.
Before we get to that, I need to tell you that the Seahawks have just 2 home games left this regular season. We want you to be there. KIRO Newsradio is giving away 4 tickets to the Seahawks game on December 14th.
All you need to do is open the KIRO Newsradio app, click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, you just need to text app to 888-973-5476. We'll send you a link to download.
You can enter daily to increase your chances to win, and the contest runs through Monday, December 8th.
When I asked Scott Lucky if his last name had anything to do with his success in the trucking industry, he laughed and said, "Well, Mike, I guess you could say I've always been lucky." But when I asked him how he and his family grew Lucky Distribution Services into the company it is today, he didn't talk about luck at all. "We work hard," he said. "We keep a close eye on the bottom line, and we treat our people the right way." In other words, Scott Lucky makes his own luck, which is precisely why he switched to Pure Talk Business. "Last month, I paid the big guys $740 for 12 lines," he told me. "This month, I paid Pure Talk $420 for the exact same service." Thousands of businesses all over the country are saving real money by switching to America's most dependable 5G network, and luck has nothing to do with it. Just dial pound 250 and say micro. That's pound 250 micro to switch to a wireless company that works as hard as you do. Pure Talk.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here. It's such a joy for me to be joined by Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, I've heard so much about traveling physical therapists. What's that mean to you and IRG?
That's a great question, Brock. Traveling physical therapy right now, I think, is a fad, and a lot of young therapists are doing it, but they're missing opportunities that we provide here at IRG. And those things we provide at IRG are really important, and that's being part of a team and treating patients, building relationships, engaging with our community. That is so important. The other thing is they're not getting paid time off. A crew are paid time off, and they do not get continuing education, professional growth, and that is so important as a young therapist to have access to professional growth. The other thing is we have an enhanced compensation program here at IRG that our physical therapists, our occupational therapists can increase their earnings by engagement, outcomes, and intervention. That's what we're all about. We're about building a great culture for young therapists and all clinicians to work here.
Openings across the whole company. Head over to irgpt.com/careers, irgpt.com/careers.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Well, here he is from the G. and Ursula Show and the host of the Reset podcast on mynorthwest.com. It's G. Scott.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hello.
Good morning. What's happening?
It's great to have you here. So we wanted to talk to you about the new data on CEOs, the big five in Washington State, Starbucks, Microsoft, Boeing, technically headquartered in Virginia, but still, Costco and Amazon. What were some of your takeaways from that?
The CEO of Starbucks hauls in $96 million? I mean, we're talking about $96 million while we got baristas in and around just trying to pay rent. You know what I mean? They're just trying to get, hey, man, I'm just trying to get a good Christmas. I'm trying not to put everything on my credit card so I'm not in debt come January and don't get out of debt until April, May. Some of us know about that, right? Like you put all of Christmas on credit cards because you can't afford it. What's my takeaway? Well, another thing about my takeaway, Charlie, Amanda, is that CEO pay in there, CEO pay study, Equilar, said that the median CEO pay ratio, the relationship between a company's CEO pay and its median worker for S&P 500 companies rose in 2024. Rose, didn't decrease. It rose 192 to 1, continuing a trend of CEO compensation outpacing the worker. You know, I was thinking to myself, I said, Self, what in the hell does a CEO do that makes them get paid 191 to 1? Like whatever it is the CEO does, I'd imagine that they don't really do all of it. As a matter of fact, this isn't about envy, by the way. I don't want anybody to think that I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous of CEOs. I'm not jealous of your yacht. I'm not jealous of your plane. This isn't about envy. This is about balance. Can we get more balance? Can we get more parity? You know, it feels like in this world that we celebrate so often. We love charity, but we can't stand parity. Think about that for a second. We would rather, let me give you a turkey instead of, why can't you afford a turkey? Right? Like, we always want to give the turkey, but we don't want to figure out why somebody needs to get a damn turkey that's frozen in the line. So I apologize for getting a little bit emotional about this, because no company runs without the people on the ground. And I'd argue the people facing the customers, talking to the customers every single day. Like, for an example, right now there's somebody in the car, and you getting ready to go to one of these companies that we talking about. And I ain't going to pick on Starbucks, but I will. You're going to go to the Starbucks, and and you probably have your favorite barista. They call them partners. And that person, Jane, Susie, Michael, Philip, they are the ones that make your experience the best when you go in that Starbucks. And meanwhile, the CEO makes $96 million a year. Come on. You going to kick me out yet?
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Right,
I appreciate you sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.
All right. Listen, G and Ursula, 9 to noon here on KIRO Newsradio.
G's all serious, so Amanda is afraid to say you're excused.
I am afraid. Get out.
Let's check in with Sully at the traffic desk.
And we're finally clear through the Marysville area, but we're still struggling past 128th coming down out of the Everett area because of what looks like state patrol emphasis. And then after that, it's not terrible away from Linwood. In fact, we're closer to an hour from Everett to Seattle and about an hour and 10 from Everett to Bellevue. So a little bit disparate there depending on which side of the lake you're on, but I think we're getting there. Northbound I-5 is thinning out in Olympia, thinning out in Tacoma, not too bad through Federal Way. About an hour drive total from Federal Way to Seattle, with about 42 of those minutes from South Center. Northbound 167 continues to struggle through Pacific. That's nothing new, but we're back under an hour to make the drive to Renton. Renton to Bellevue is about 40 minutes, 25 to get across the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, so not too bad there. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance, which is installing the most dependable home comfort solutions, including Mitsubishi electric heating and air conditioning systems. Call the comfort people, homecomfortalliance.com.
Some showers in spots this morning. Otherwise, just a mostly cloudy afternoon. We're headed for a high of 47. Overnight low 37. Right now in Seattle, it is cloudy and 45.
Conversation continues on the G and Ursula show, where they talk about how much some of those big companies like Amazon and Microsoft are going to be taxed by our state. That's on the way on KIRO News Radio.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
If you're looking for a great reason to get that new set of wheels for your car or truck, look no further than Wheel Week at Les Schwab Tires, where you can save 15% on select wheels from your favorite brands, including Raceline, Icon, Method, Vox, and Fuel. Whether you're upgrading or looking for the perfect gift, get a great deal on new wheels this holiday season. Stop by a store or book an appointment today. Les Schwab Tires. Get more from less. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net. The holidays are here and we all want to celebrate in style, but sometimes stubborn fat and loose skin keeps us from looking and feeling our best. Stacey Ross here. Imagine a simple one-day solution. Introducing ProSculpt, the treatment everyone is talking about. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe, gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while you're fully awake. ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas, your waistline, face, neck, arms, and thighs. Avoid wasting time and money on gimmicky lasers or fat-freezing methods. ProSculpt is one and done. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat, tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. Celebrate the holidays and get yourself a gift with a free consultation and get $250 off. Schedule at ProSculpt.com for powerful, permanent fat removal and skin tightening. It's ProSculpt.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
What's your holiday tradition? For most, it's gathering with a joyful meal. Unfortunately, for many families, that tradition feels out of reach. To help, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors the next time you're at Safeway checkout or visit nourishingneighbors.com.
Your best source for local news, KIRO News Radio.